Get your Sunday football morning started off right with the Handicappers on Armchair Quarterbacks YouTube, 10 a.m. Eastern to noon Eastern. Your Sunday morning kickoff show where we tackle your NFL lines out in the desert, a 61.2% win rate over the last 6 years. Against the spread, over, under, money line, you name it. And we dive into the world of fantasy football year-long and your DFS payouts. Your only true Southern football kickoff show that talks the spreads in Vegas, your DFS and fantasy, in your year-long quest to win that fantasy football championship. Only on the Armchair Quarterbacks YouTube channel. It's the Handicappers on Armchair Quarterbacks YouTube, 10 a.m. Eastern to noon Eastern. Sundays, all NFL season long.
Tom has been a teacher for over 40 years. One day, I think one of the students had asked the question and he didn't remember the answer. And I also noticed that he was letting his class out earlier than they were supposed to let out. I was really starting to worry.
Levi and I talked about how it would change our lives, but he was there beside me.
When something feels different, it could be Alzheimer's. Now is the time to talk. Visit alz.org/ourstories to learn more. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Get your Sunday football morning started off right with the Handicappers on Armchair Quarterbacks YouTube, 10 a.m. Eastern to noon Eastern. Your Sunday morning kickoff show where we tackle your NFL lines out in the desert, a 61.2% win rate over the last 6 years. Against the spread, over, under, money line, you name it. And we dive into the world of fantasy football year-long and your DFS payouts. Your only true Southern football kickoff show that talks the spreads in Vegas, your DFS and fantasy, in your year-long quest to win that fantasy football championship. Only on the Armchair Quarterbacks YouTube channel. It's the Handicappers on Armchair Quarterbacks YouTube, 10 a.m. Eastern to noon Eastern. Sundays, all NFL season long. Saturday mornings, 8:30 Eastern. Dixie Football Nation is back and better than ever. We've got Tony Agolini, Matt Carr, Tones Ariola, Bobby and Angelo, along with Mac McGee this fall. Dixie Football Nation heads to the gridiron, talking ACC, SEC, the Big Ten, and all the big games throughout the college football land. That's Dixie Football Nation, 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central, Saturday mornings on the Armchair Quarterback Show's YouTube channel, going live. Or catch the instant replay.
I'm Amy Lawrence, and I'm up late, always, after hours hanging out with you on CBS Sports Radio. Check it out, 2 a.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. Pacific.
Enjoy sun-drenched days, epic stays, and plenty of room to roam in Greater Fort Lauderdale. Our hotels, attractions, and restaurants have taken the Visit Lauderdale's Safe and Clean pledge, so you can relax and explore with confidence. When you're ready for that well-deserved staycation, our 23 miles of golden beaches await. Find wide-open spaces to hike, bike, kayak, and paddleboard. Visit your favorite attractions, then dine out in style in socially distanced dining rooms or al fresco on waterfront patios. Learn more at sunny.org.
To protect his family from disaster, Steve used his camera phone. Done. By taking pictures of his important documents, Steve can always have them stored online. Learn more simple disaster prep tips at ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council.
You're talking about a bunch of unproven kids who were in the prom. You know, literally, they were in the prom like 6 months ago at their high school.
No, they weren't because they were
on lockdown.
Exactly.
Okay, they were at a.
These are promless teenagers.
If he's from a Big Ten state,
they were at a.
If he's from a Big Ten state, he didn't have prom. I can guarantee you that.
They were at a virtual prom. Anyways, so yeah, it's tough for Wisconsin.
That's called porn. That's called porn.
Stop it. They get a break this week because I got a mess to clean up, guys. Yeah.
Virtual.
There's my walk off for the day. Thanks, Mac. I gotta dry my keyboard out now.
Armchair.
Remember, if for any reason you must leave your radio, please have the man at the door stamp your ear so you can listen again later.
Saturday mornings, 8:30 Eastern. Dixie Football Nation is back and better than ever. We've got Tony Agolini, Matt Carr, Tones Ariola, Bobby and Angelo, along with Mac McGee this fall. Dixie Football Nation heads to the gridiron, talking ACC, SEC, the Big Ten, and all the big games throughout the college football land. That's Dixie Football Nation, 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central, Saturday mornings on the Armchair Quarterback Show's YouTube channel, going live. Or catch the instant replay.
Screen pass to Trayshawn DeAndre on the right side. He dodges Crushman, makes his way to the end zone. Touchdown! But wait a second. I think there's a flag on the play.
All right, you guys got holding on number 97, right?
Yeah, definitely holding. No touchdown.
All right, make the call.
Yeah, I mean, it was holding.
So make the call.
Or, we say the flag was for an excessive celebration so they can keep the touchdown and apply the penalty to the kickoff, huh? What do you say?
What are you talking about? I didn't see excessive celebration.
You sure? Could have sworn I saw a little nay-nay going on.
What's going on with you, man?
All right, look, guys, I got to be real with you. Trayshawn DeAndre just scored that touchdown. Okay, I have him on my fantasy team this week. I need these points.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not kidding you, Bill. I'm playing against my father-in-law this week, and if he doesn't score this touchdown, I lose.
Well, I'm not going to let you make a bad call because you're in some fantasy football league.
Make the call.
Craig, no. If you make one bad call...
This works out perfectly, Bill. I started the quarterback who threw the touchdown pass. We're going to have to ignore the holding call.
I have the kicker, and I was kind of hoping that he wouldn't convert on third down, so he'd have to kick the field goal.
Armchair.
Get your Sunday football morning started off right with the Handicappers on Armchair Quarterbacks YouTube, 10 a.m. Eastern to noon Eastern. Your Sunday morning kickoff show where we tackle your NFL lines out in the desert, a 61.2% win rate over the last 6 years. Against the spread, over, under, money line, you name it. And we dive into the world of fantasy football year-long in your DFS payouts. Your only true Southern football kickoff show that talks the spreads in Vegas, your DFS and fantasy, in your year-long quest to win that fantasy football championship. Only on the Armchair Quarterbacks YouTube channel. It's the Handicappers on Armchair Quarterbacks YouTube, 10 a.m. Eastern to noon Eastern. Sundays, all NFL season long. The Armchair Quarterbacks on YouTube Live, covering the AFC South and NFC South along with the rest of the NFL. Subscribe and like us today. Your first choice for sports talk live from the First Coast.
Tom has been a teacher for over 40 years. One day, I think one of the students had asked the question and he didn't remember the answer. And I also noticed that he was letting his class out earlier than they were supposed to let out. I was really starting to worry.
Levi and I talked about how it would change our lives, but he was there beside me.
When something feels different, it could be Alzheimer's. Now is the time to talk. Visit alz.org/ourstories to learn more. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
You come at the K, you best not miss.
I might audible. How audible? I'll use
Omaha! Red Polly! Blue poncho! Dilly! Rambo! Give me Kershaw here, Kershaw!
You're listening to the Armchair Quarterbacks.
Chop, Japan! Richmond, New York! Richmond, Florida! Sally, Buffalo! Check! Hey, Short Ox! Ludo Raiders! Omaha! Time out!
And then a lot of states ended up having gay marriage and common law marriage, which I think is very confusing because what happens if you just end up with like two loser dudes sharing the same crappy apartment for a couple years? It's been known to happen. Both working part-time at the pizza place, hanging out every weekend. A few years goes by, boom, they're married. See them at a party, they're newlyweds. I didn't know Tony and Jim were gay. They're married now? When did they fall in love? They didn't. They just never got full-time jobs. Take me out to the ball game.
Get caught up with the big stories from around the world in sports in just a few minutes. It's Take Me Out to the Ball Game today, weekdays. Armchair Quarterbacks on YouTube. Baseball, football, basketball, whatever's trending in the world of sports, it's on Take Me Out to the Ball Game today in just a few minutes. It drops weekdays. Take Me Out to the Ball Game today on the Armchair Quarterbacks YouTube channel.
Take me out to the ball game.
This portion of the show is being brought to you by The Best Things in Life, which are still free with minimum purchase at participating dealers.
Saturday mornings, 8:30 Eastern. Dixie Football Nation is back and better than ever. We've got Tony Agolini, Matt Carr, Tones Areola, Bobby and Angelo, along with Mac McGee this fall. Dixie Football Nation heads to the gridiron, talking ACC, SEC, the Big Ten, and all the big games throughout the college football land. That's Dixie Football Nation, 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central, Saturday mornings on the Armchair Quarterback Show's YouTube channel, going live. Or catch the instant replay. Get your Sunday football morning started off right with the Handicappers on Armchair Quarterbacks YouTube, 10 a.m. Eastern to noon Eastern. Your Sunday morning kickoff show where we tackle your NFL lines out in the desert, a 61.2% win rate over the last 6 years. Against the spread, over, under, money line, you name it. And we dive into the world of fantasy football year-long in your DFS payouts. The only true Southern football kickoff show that talks the spreads in Vegas, your DFS and fantasy in your year-long quest to win that fantasy football championship. Only on the Armchair Quarterbacks YouTube channel. It's the Handicappers on Armchair Quarterbacks YouTube, 10 a.m. Eastern to noon Eastern. Sundays, all NFL season long.
Enjoy sun-drenched days, epic stays, and plenty of room to roam in Greater Fort Lauderdale. Our hotels, attractions, and restaurants have taken the Visit Lauderdale's Safe and Clean pledge, so you can relax and explore with confidence. When you're ready for that well-deserved staycation, our 23 miles of golden beaches await. Find wide-open spaces to hike, bike, kayak, and paddleboard. Visit your favorite attractions, then dine out in style in socially distanced dining rooms or al fresco on waterfront patios. Learn more at sunny.org.
Saturday mornings, 8:30 Eastern. Dixie Football Nation is back and better than ever. We've got Tony Agolini, Matt Carr, Tones Areola, Bobby and Angelo, along with Mac McGee this fall. Dixie Football Nation heads to the gridiron, talking ACC, SEC, the Big Ten, and all the big games throughout the college football land. That's Dixie Football Nation, 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central, Saturday mornings on the Armchair Quarterback Show's YouTube channel, going live. Or catch the instant replay.
Dread running to the post office? Stamps.com brings post office and UPS services right to your computer. Send letters, ship packages, and get up to 40% off USPS and up to 62% off UPS rates. Nearly 1 million small businesses use Stamps.com to save time and money. It's a no-brainer. So skip the post office and visit Stamps.com. Use promo code LISTEN for a 4-week trial plus free postage and a digital scale. That's Stamps.com, promo code LISTEN.
The snapper is Robert Shiver, a sophomore out of Thomasville, Georgia. The holder is Matthew Motley, a senior from Opelika, and Wes Byram, a freshman out of Fort Lauderdale, trying to put it through to give Auburn the win. Here's the snap, the place, the kick is up, the kick is long enough, the kick is good, good! See you later, alligator! Tigers win, 20-17! I hope Lee Corso and Kirk Street never pick Auburn to have a chance again. The Tigers have come to the swamp, drained it, and made it their own, 20-17. Auburn a winner tonight over the third-ranked Florida Gators. Can you believe it?
Hi, this is Britney Spears.
What up, this Jay-Z.
This is Jennifer Lopez. Armchair.
Get your Sunday football morning started off right with the handicappers on Armchair Quarterbacks YouTube, 10 a.m. Eastern to noon Eastern. Your Sunday morning kickoff show where we tackle your NFL lines out in the desert. A 61.2% win rate over the last 6 years. Against the spread, over, under, money line, you name it. And we dive into the world of fantasy football year-long in your DFS payouts. The only true Southern football kickoff show that talks the spreads in Vegas, your DFS and fantasy, in your year-long quest to win that fantasy football championship. Only on the Armchair Quarterbacks YouTube channel. It's the handicappers on Armchair Quarterbacks YouTube, 10 a.m. Eastern to noon Eastern. Sundays, all NFL season long. Armchair Quarterback Radio, the gunslingers of sports talk.
Second-year quarterback Brett Favre out of Southern Mississippi by way of the Atlanta Falcons. They are hopeful he can succeed in the NFL. Here, Brett Favre, doing the challenge. Try this one. So with their best receiver out of the game from the 35, 19 seconds left. Ball pumps, throws, a touchdown! Is there a spark of life in Green Bay? Touchdown! Yes! Danny Marino!
Here's Marino, wide open field, throws for a touchdown. It is number 37 on the season, breaks the all-time NFL record. Going deep and open. Touchdown, Mark Duper. Duper has returned, and he is super.
They are going to bring pressure again. Rodgers is going to roll away, throws it up in the air, says a prayer. Janis, does he stop it? Oh, please.
There's something kind of about a kid that's never played baseball.
It's important to remember the value of taking time for ourselves to do the things that help us grow and explore, like learning something new. And now with the Great Courses Plus, it's never been easier to experience the joys of learning. The Great Courses Plus offers thousands of streaming videos that cover hundreds of fascinating topics, from World War II to choosing the perfect wine. You can even take a course on the U.S. government or dealing with stress and anxiety. And because the Great Courses Plus partners with world-class professors and experts, you're always receiving thoroughly vetted, high-quality content from every lecture. Plus, you can watch or listen anytime, anywhere with the Great Courses Plus app. So take a little time for you. Sign up for the Great Courses Plus today for a free month of unlimited access. Visit thegreatcoursesplus.com/radio to get started. That's thegreatcoursesplus.com/radio.
Dread running to the post office? Stamps.com brings post office and UPS services right to your computer. Send letters, ship packages, and get up to 40% off USPS and up to 62% off UPS rates. Nearly 1 million small businesses use Stamps.com to save time and money. It's a no-brainer. So skip the post office and visit Stamps.com. Use promo code LISTEN for a 4-week trial plus free postage and a digital scale. That's Stamps.com, promo code LISTEN.
If baseball is about caring, about loyalty and rivalry.
There's a very peaceful thing. It was created and played in pastures and meadows. There's grass, there's outdoors, there's everything that people thought was American and feel about America. You get in the ballpark, and it's the wonder of walking through that dark tunnel and seeing a huge open space where men play the little boy's game.
Baerga is 0 for 3. Left center field. Grissom on the run. The team of the 90s proves its world championship.
You're in Braves country.
Good evening, boys and girls. Grab you a cold one and pull up a chair. It's time for Braves baseball. How is everyone out there this evening? I'm Mac McGee. I'll be bringing you the Atlanta Braves versus Philadelphia Phillies live here on the Armchair Quarterbacks YouTube channel. Please like and subscribe today. And we've got a big one tonight, the biggest game of the year so far, as the Atlanta Braves are just one win away. Their magic is now one to win the National League East for the fourth consecutive time, as Atlanta now sits high above the NL East. We've got tonight's game, 3 against the Mets this weekend, and if it were necessary, there would be a makeup game played against Colorado on Monday, but all that can be avoided if Atlanta wins any of these next 4 games. We're ready to put it away tonight. And the Atlanta Braves will send Ian Anderson out on the mound. He has a 3.26 ERA, 1.24 whip, and an 8-5 record, 225 batting average against, as Ian Anderson is set to hopefully bring the Atlanta Braves a W and bring Atlanta just a little closer to what they could not finish last year, losing in 7 to the NLCS. If you missed the news today, big news, Devin Williams, reliever for the Milwaukee Brewers, he pulled a Huascar Ynoa, and during celebration, he broke his hand after going out for drinks, is the story he's telling. He owned up to it. You got to give him credit for that. But he's going to go on the IL. And why is that significant? Well, the Brewers, not only do they lean heavily on that bullpen, the Milwaukee Brewers, Devin Williams is their setup man and has had a phenomenal year. 205 ERA with 87 strikeouts and 57 innings. And the Brewers are going to be without him for the postseason, which if Atlanta wins tonight, that will be Atlanta's opponent. Milwaukee and Atlanta would be in a best of 5 that would begin on Friday, next Friday, a week from tomorrow. Most likely, although they have not released the times of these games, in all likelihood, it's going to be a day game. That has been pretty much the MO for Atlanta and Milwaukee when they have been in the playoffs in recent years. And you have to figure with all that'll be going on that day, because there will be 4 games going on that day, 2 in the AL, 2 in the NL. You have to figure wherever the Yankees or Red Sox are going to be playing, if they make it, that they will be in the Eastern time zone, 7 p.m. Eastern game, somewhere in that neighborhood. And the Dodgers and Giants series, if that were to take place, would be the late game. That would put most likely Houston versus the White Sox and Braves versus the Brewers as day games on that Friday, which means Atlanta and Milwaukee will probably start it all off. They may go with the White Sox versus Astros, but in all likelihood, it would be Braves versus Milwaukee Brewers next Friday. An early pitch, 105, maybe 205 Eastern, depending on what they work out with Major League Baseball. It is in Milwaukee, so maybe 205. So just get your story ready for your boss next Friday on why you're not coming back from lunch as we get set for Braves baseball. And Ian Anderson is going to counter against Kyle Gibson. Kyle Gibson was acquired at the deadline from the Texas Rangers, had a pretty good first part of the season, but since he's come over from Philly from Texas, he's just 4-5 with a 4.87 ERA and a 252 batting average against. He averages about 7.25 strikeouts per 9. Ian Anderson, 9 Ks per 9. Ian Anderson's big issue so far this year has been getting out of the 4th inning, 5th inning, getting into the 6th inning. So we'll keep an eye on that tonight. His pitch count, he's been effectively wild last few times out, but you'd like to see him get through more than just 4 innings or 5 innings. You'd love to see him go 6 or better tonight. And Atlanta is going to try to sew this East up as we're getting close to first pitch. And the Phillies will lead off with Odubel Herrera. It's the same lineup from last night. One change. It's Herrera playing center and leading off. Segura is hitting second and playing second base tonight. Bryce Harper hitting just .220 against the Braves this year. 34 home runs. He'll be playing right field and hitting third. JT Realmuto, he's the hind catcher tonight again, .266 average, 16 home runs. And then Miller will be back in at first base as he was in the first game, left-handed bat to face Ian Anderson. McCutchen playing left is hitting sixth. It's Didi Gregorius at short. And Torres at third, and Gibson will be the pitcher. When the Braves are due up in the bottom of this inning, it'll be Jorge Soler in right, Freddie at first, and Ozzie at second is the 1-2-3. Riley will be the third baseman, batting fourth. Duvall playing center and hitting fifth. Rosario playing left and hitting sixth. Darnode and Dansby Swanson with the pitcher, Ian Anderson, to follow it up. So Ian Anderson's getting finished with his final warm-ups of the night, and we are set for Braves baseball. Welcome, y'all. Pull up a chair and let's get set for a great 9 innings of baseball, and hopefully the Atlanta Braves can put away Philly as we have the magic number down to just 1. And obviously a win tonight is worth 2, but you just need the 1. So Atlanta needs a win or a Philly loss over the next 4 nights to clinch the East for the 4th consecutive time. We get set for the first pitch as Anderson is throwing his last pitches, and we welcome you here on the Braves baseball as Odubel Herrera starts to dig in and get set as we are underway in Atlanta. And here comes the first pitch from Ian Anderson as Herrera gets set, open stance, lefty. Darnode set up on the outside part of the plate, and it is a fastball high for a called strike. And Herrera hitting .264, 13 home runs, 50 RBIs on the year. We'll keep you abreast on what's going on in the world of the rest of the league, National League, American League, National Football League, and college football tonight here on the scoreboard. Fastball swung on and missed, and it's quickly 0-2. Fastball was up in the zone a little bit, just a little higher than the first one. And as he climbs the ladder, he's got Herrera chasing 0-2. As Herrera digs in and gets ready for the 0-2 pitch. Here's a pitch, and it's even higher. This time Herrera will not offer at it, and it's 1-2. Herrera's with a 741 OPS this year as Atlanta looking for the first out of the inning. And here's the 1-2 pitch, and fastball wide and outside the zone. It's 2-2. Like to see Ian Anderson get a quick first inning as he has struggled early in the games, driving his pitch count up, and we'll see where this takes us. Here comes the 2-2 pitch from Ian Anderson. See, looks in for the sign and dials back and is ready to roll. And here comes the 2-2 pitch just inside 95 miles an hour, and it's ball 3. So already back up to a full count after starting out 0-2. nipping at the corners, and it's a full count to Herrera to lead the game off. Here comes the 3-2 pitch from Anderson as he gets the sign, rocks back and deals, and fastball, hit back foul up against the screen behind home plate, and it's 3-2. We'll do it again. Looking around the league, a lot of big games in the American League as you've got the wild card coming down to the wire. We'll get you caught up with that tonight. Boston leaves Baltimore 1-0, top of the second. The Yankees lead the Toronto Blue Jays 1-0 in the bottom of the first. Here's the 3-2 pitch, and it is a fastball popped up high and easy catch by Dansby Swanson with his feet on the back of the grass in the outfield, leading into the outfield, just outside the infield, and there's one away, and the Braves, Phillies, it's 0-0 with Jean Segura coming up to the plate. Segura batting .292 this year, 14 home runs, 58 RBIs, and a .790 OPS. Here's the delivery. It's outside the zone. It's 1-0. For all you NFL fans, fantasy football fans out there, we'll keep you abreast on what's going on in that game. Here's the 1-0 pitch, fastball high and outside, and it's 2-0. Ian Anderson quickly working into yet another jam. Trying to keep that pitch count down. It's been a stress of contention around the Braves camp. Here's the 10th pitch of the inning, and it is a fastball hit high and hit deep to left field, but it's going to die a little bit. Looked like the wind might have knocked it down. Rosario's underneath it, and it's out number 2. He gave it a ride, and it looked like Segura might have gotten all of it. I think Rosario thought that he'd gotten all of it because he was drifting back to the warning track and then slammed on the brakes and realized that the ball was going to die probably about 5 feet before the warning track for out number 2. And that'll bring the dangerous Bryce Harper. I did mention he's only hitting .220 against Atlanta this year. A lot of people's MVP vote, but I heard a very good argument this morning on a national telecast, basically throwing out there that you can't vote for someone for MVP when he plays the worst against the team they're trying to catch in the division. Here's the first pitch, and it is low curveball, ball 1. There isn't really anyone running away with the National League MVP. I will give you my thoughts on that later in the game on who I would vote in and, the order. And the National League MVP that this year doesn't have an outstanding year. Here comes the curveball, swung on and missed for strike 1, and it's 1-1. So you don't really have one running away with it. And that's the shame of Ohtani and Vlad Jr., who sit over in the American League. If either one of them were in the National League, they both run away with their respective MVP awards. But it's done a little different in baseball, so you have to win your league MVP, Here's fastball on the outside part of the plate, and it's 2-1, little high, little outside. And that'll bring up the 2-1 count as Bryce Harper digs in, looking for something he can drive. Ian Anderson gets set, rocks back, and this time it is a curveball that hung a little bit outside the zone, and it's 3-1. That ball hung just a little too up there. It's a good thing that it was far out of the zone, because that is one of those balls that home run hitters love to take a swat at. Here comes the 3-1 pitch, and it is a fastball swung on and miss up around the letters, and it's 3-2. Ian Anderson trying to get out of this inning. Just 15 pitches so far, so looking good on that front. He's got a full count to Bryce Harper. And here comes the 3-2 pitch as the crowd starts to get up and give some support to Ian. And it is a changed up, bang to the right side of the field. And Austin Riley will get it on the shift in between second and first. And that's the inning. We'll head to the bottom of the first. Jorge Soler and Freddie Freeman, along with Ozzie Albies, on the way.
This portion of the show is being brought to you by Ed's Almost Good Beer. Remember, Ed's Almost Good Beer was brewed in God's country when God wasn't looking.
I might audible. If I audible, I'll use Omaha! Omaha! Red Polly! Red Polly! Blue Poncho! Blue Poncho! Dilly! Rambo! Rambo! Give me Kershaw here, Kershaw!
You're listening to the Armchair Quarterbacks.
Chop, Japan! Richmond, New York! Richmond, Florida! Sally, Buffalo! Check! Hey, Short Ox! Uno Raiders! Omaha! I'm out!
Saturday mornings, 8:30 Eastern. Dixie Football Nation is back and better than ever. We got Tony Agolini, Matt Carr, Tones Areola, Bobby and Angelo, along with Mac McGee this fall. Dixie Football Nation heads to the gridiron, talking ACC, SEC, the Big Ten, and all the big games throughout the college football land. That's Dixie Football Nation, 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central, Saturday mornings on the Armchair Quarterback Show's YouTube channel, going live, or catch the instant replay.
Enjoy sun-drenched days, epic stays, and plenty of room to roam in Greater Fort Lauderdale. Our hotels, attractions, and restaurants have taken the Visit Lauderdale's Safe and Clean pledge, so you can relax and explore with confidence. When you're ready for that well-deserved staycation, our 23 miles of golden beaches await. Find wide-open spaces to hike, bike, kayak, and paddleboard. Visit your favorite attractions, then dine out in style in socially distanced dining rooms or al fresco on waterfront patios. Learn more at sunny.org.
Challenge accepted.
Welcome back here to Braves Baseball. Mac McGee bringing it to you live as Kyle Gibson digs in for the first pitch. And the lanky right-hander steps off the rubber a little bit, so Jorge Soler will step out of the batter's box and give a couple of practice swings, and we're back underway here. Soler steps in with his .222 average, 25 home runs, 68 RBI, and here's the first pitch. And it is a sinker outside the zone. It's 1-0. Soler trying to get on to get something going here at 0-0 here in the bottom of the first inning. And the second pitch is outside the zone, sinker again, and it's 2-0. Freddie Freeman stands on deck. You're just joining us. Here's the 2-0 pitch and fastball at the belt, and it's 2-1. The Braves' most likely first round opponent, the Milwaukee Brewers. Here comes the 2-1 pitch, and it is outside the zone for 3-1. They lose their setup man out of their bullpen, Devin Williams, as he broke his hand during a celebration after a night of drinks, and he's been put on the IL, and it looks like it's going to end his season. Very similar to what happened to Huascar Ynoa in Milwaukee. Very ironic. And here's the 3-1 pitch, and it is fouled back out of play. Cutter, and it'll be 3-2 as Soler digs in. It's very ironic that the Braves lost Huascar Ynoa, which really put them in a bind in the middle of the season. And Devin Williams, aware of that injury, obviously, because they were playing the Brewers in Milwaukee, he does the same exact thing almost. Here comes 3-2 pitch, and it is a cutter swung on high. It is deep. It is far. It is back, slammed out of the left field wall. Jorge Soler gets Atlanta on the board, and it's 1-0 for Soler's solo shot, his 26th of the year. And that was a no-doubter. We'll get the tail of the tape here in a second. Left center field, and he just absolutely roped it. Braves lead 1-0. Looks like well over 400 feet as we wait for the tail of the tape, but Soler making it 1-0. That'll bring Freddie Freeman to the plate. And first pitch called for an inside strike, cutter, and it's 0-1. Ball was just inside borderline pitch. Gibson got the benefit of the count on the 0-1 pitch, and it is a slider in the dirt, swung on, and it's 0-2. Soler now hitting leadoff, of course, after the Ronald Acuna injury, and Soler coming over from Kansas City has really bolstered the top of that offense. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Freddie. JT sets up inside, and it is a cutter that misses inside. It's 1-2. Freddie Freeman hitting 299 on the year, 31 home runs, 82 RBIs, and an 898 OPS. Here's the 0-2 pitch, and just missed for ball number 2. I believe if Freddie had not gotten off to such a slow start at the beginning of the year, you would be talking about Freddie Freeman for the MVP. Really hard to rebound after such a tough start. Here's the 2-2 pitch, and it is inside for ball number 3. We've got a full count to Freddie Freeman. The Atlanta Braves lead 1-0 against Philadelphia Phillies. 1 win away from winning the National League East, the Braves are. Ozzie Albies stands on deck. Here comes the 3-2 pitch, and it is foul ball shot down the first base line. Just foul, and we'll do it again at 3-2. Freddie Freeman having that righty-lefty righty combo at the 1-2-3 spot at the top of the order is really difficult on opposing pitchers. And here comes the 3-2 pitch to Freddie, and he swings and misses, slider in on his hands, and there's one away. The first strikeout for Kyle Gibson. Looked like that Soler, when he hit that home run, looked like it was a cutter that kind of hung out over the plate, and he absolutely did damage on it. They're calling it 436, but we'll see if that's accurate here in a little bit. Here's the first pitch to Ozzie, and it is a curveball swung on and hit foul. It's 0-1. You love getting that first run to start the game off, get a little pressure off of Atlanta's. You know, the fans are ready to erupt. The players are ready to celebrate, but there's a lot of nerves out there knowing you're still 1 win away. Here's the 0-1 pitch, and it is wide and outside for ball 1. Looked like he missed with the changeup. Here comes the 1-1 pitch from Gibson, and he fires it high and outside the zone. It's 2-1. Boston leads Baltimore 1-0 in the third. Yankees up 1-0 over Toronto in the second. Tampa Bay and Houston are scoreless. Here's the 2-1 pitch. It's wide and outside the zone again for ball 3. It's 3-1. Houston's magic number is down to 1 as well to win the American League West. So we'll keep an eye on that for you tonight. And here comes the 3-1 pitch to Ozzie Albies as he's sitting dead red, and cutter, and he swings underneath it, pops it up high into shallow left field. Looks like the third baseman Torres is going to get underneath it, and it's out number 2, bringing Austin Riley to the plate. Austin Riley batting .302 with an .894 OPS and 32 home runs on the year. other magic numbers around baseball, the Giants magic number is down to 3. Here's the first pitch, and it's inside to Austin Riley. And they are going to call it an inside strike. It's 0-1. If the Giants and Dodgers end up tied at the end of action on Sunday, there will be a 1-game play-in game, and that will take place on Monday in San Francisco. Here's the 0-1 pitch, and it's outside the zone. It's 1-1. And the reason why it is going to be played in San Francisco, the Giants beat the Dodgers in the season series 10-9. Can't get any closer than that. By far the two best teams in the National League so far in 2021, both of them up over 100 wins. Here's the 1-1 pitch from Gibson, and it's outside for ball 2. It's 2-1. So we could end up with a really busy Monday. You could have the National League West coming down to a playing game, and then the American League wild card. Here's the 2-1 pitch. It is jammed in on the hands on Austin Riley. He hits it over to the left-hand side of the infield. Didi Gregorius will charge. He'll fire it over to first, gets Austin plenty of time, and that'll do it for the first inning. But we'll head to the second with the Atlanta Braves leading 2-1. You're listening to Braves Baseball.
Max, a woman in my section wants to know if we do anything gluten-free. What do I tell her? Tell her she's not allergic to gluten. She's just masking an eating disorder.
Get your Sunday football morning started off right with the Handicappers on Armchair Quarterbacks YouTube, 10 a.m. Eastern to noon Eastern. Your Sunday morning kickoff show where we tackle your NFL lines out in the desert, a 61.2% win rate over the last 6 years. Against the spread, over under, money line, you name it. And we dive into the world of fantasy football year long and your DFS payouts. The only true Southern football kickoff show that talks the spreads in Vegas, your DFS and fantasy, in your year-long quest to win that fantasy football championship. Only on the Armchair Quarterbacks YouTube channel. It's the Handicappers on Armchair Quarterbacks YouTube, 10 a.m. Eastern to noon Eastern. Sundays, all NFL season long.
Tom has been a teacher for over 40 years. One day, I think one of the students had asked the question and he didn't remember the answer. And I also noticed that he was letting his class out earlier than they were supposed to let out. I was really starting to worry.
Levi and I talked about how it would change our lives, but he was there beside me.
When something feels different, it could be Alzheimer's. Now is the time to talk. Visit alz.org/ourstories to learn more. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
This helpful instructional message from the National Association of People Who Have Trouble Walking and Chewing Gum at the same time. Step, chew, step, chew, step, chew, step, chew.
Welcome back here to Braves Baseball as the Atlanta Braves lead 1-0 heading to the top of the second inning. One win away from National League East Championship number 4 in as many years. Here's the first pitch from Ian Anderson, and it is a called strike outside part of the zone across the letters, and it's 0-1. Division's already sewn up in Major League Baseball as the 0-1 pitch comes in. It's fouled off, and it's 0-2. The Tampa Bay Rays have already won the American League East. The White Sox have won the AL Central, and the Astros just one win away from the AL West. Here comes the 0-2 pitch fouled back, and we'll do it again at 0-2 to JT Realmuto. In the National League, obviously, Atlanta's just one win away from winning the East. The Brewers have sewn up the West, and the Dodgers and Giants are in a heated race. Here's the 0-2 pitch, and it's in the dirt for ball 1. It's 1-2. Separated by just a couple of games, San Francisco's magic number is still 3 with 4 games to play. Both of them playing teams that they should take care of, so it puts a lot of pressure on the other. Here's the 1-2 pitch, and it is shot into right field. A sharply hit ball to Jorge Soler, and he slides and catches it, goes to his knees for out number 1. JT just kind of smacked it out there, gave him what Ian Anderson took what Anderson gave him, and Soler sliding in makes the grab. Kind of an awkward slide, but he looks like he's okay. And there's one away that'll bring Brad Miller, the lefty, up. A little pop in his bat. Miller does have 20 home runs on the year. He's hitting 227, ex Tampa Bay Ray, if the name sounds familiar. Here's the first pitch, and there's a called strike. It's 0-1. Games going on around the league. The Sox are playing the O's. Pavetta's on the mound. The Yankees in Toronto. Here's the 0-1 pitch inside for ball number 1, 1-1. It's Kluber versus Robbie Ray. And the Rays and Strohs, McCullers is on the mound for Houston as they try to get another division title. Here's the 1-1 pitch, and it's in the dirt for 2-1. And Ian Anderson in a bit of a bind here, trying to keep runners off base. It's 1-0 Atlanta. 2-1 pitch and low, and it's ball 3. It's 3-1. Not what you want getting started here for Anderson. Like to see him be a little more aggressive. Here's the 3-1 pitch fastball, but he just misses, and it is a 5-pitch walk that'll bring Andrew McCutchen to the plate. Andrew McCutchen hitting .218 on the year. .25 home runs. Giants play Arizona later on tonight, and the Dodgers play San Diego. Gonsolin on the mound for the Dodgers, Kazmir for the Giants. Here comes the first pitch to McCutchen, and it's outside for ball 1. The Giants will be facing an old friend in Madison Bumgarner tonight. So he could stand in the way of them winning a division. Here's the 1-0 pitch, and it is a inside for ball number 2. Looked like the changeup. Ian Anderson starting to struggle a little bit here in the second inning. Pitch count just at 28. You don't want to average more than about 15 or so per inning if you want to be able to go deep into a ball game. Here's the 2-0 pitch to McCutchen, and swung on and missed. Strike number 1. It's 2-1. Ian Anderson looking back. Miller at first has yet to throw over there. We'll see what happens here. And it's the 2-1 pitch to McCutchen as Darno sets up inside, and it is roasted down the left field line past Riley, and Rosario is going to get over to it pretty quickly, get it back into play. McCutchen standing on second with the double. Miller goes from first to third, so you'll have runners on second and runners on third. There's just one away, and Didi Gregorius comes up to the plate. McCutchen was able to turn on that pitch. It was just past the outstretched glove of Austin Riley, who dove. And the Phillies are threatening here. Don't want to give them any kind of life. You'd like to see Atlanta have a shutdown inning after scoring. They've got a mess here as Didi Gregorius. So he's just hitting .212, 13 home runs on the year. He has been a big-time player throughout the years in big-time situations. Here's the first pitch, and it's a called strike, 0-1. Didi Gregorius, of course, coming from the Yankees, and before that was with the Arizona Diamondbacks. He was the heir apparent when Derek Jeter retired. Huge shoes to fill up there. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Gregorius, and fastball called a little high, and it's 1-1. You got a feel for anyone that stepped into Derek Jeter's shoes after retirement playing his position. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. And it's fastball popped up high, but looks like it's going to be out of play. It'll be 1-2. It's got to be similar to what Mac Jones is going through in New England. 1-2 count to Didi Gregorius. Torres, right-handed hitter, is on deck with the pitcher spot in the hole. Here comes the 1-2 pitch from Ian Anderson as he gets the sign, digs in, gets ready for delivery. Here's the pitch. And swung on and just foul tipped it. We'll do it again at 1-2. Put it down in the zone. Change up that he barely got something on, and just to keep himself alive. So we'll do it again at 1-2. Ian Anderson up to 34 pitches here in the top of the second inning with one away. Runners on second and third. Atlanta leads at 1-0. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. And is high fastball, and it's 2-2. Torres standing on deck, getting his practice swings in. Last thing Anderson wants to do is load the bases here early in the game. Here comes the 2-2 pitch from Anderson, and it is changeup hit hard but foul, and we'll do it again at 2-2. You've gone fastball, changeup the entire way. Would he go back to that changeup again? With the 2-2 pitch, putting a lot of pressure on you if he doesn't swing. Staring in at Darnode, but Didi's going to step out of the box. And we'll reset here. And here comes the 2-2 pitch from Ian Anderson. So he gets the new set of signs from Travis Darnode. And the pitch is wide and outside. Looked like it was a changeup that got away from him. It's 3-2. 87 miles an hour outside the strike zone. And Ian Anderson trying to figure out a way to get him out without letting a run come in. The infield is back, so ground ball would probably score him. Here's the 3-2 pitch, and it is popped up high. Can of corn in the infield. Freddie gives chase over towards the first base dugout. He's underneath it for out number 2, and the runners cannot advance as Freddie got the catch in between first and home. That's a big out number 2 with Torres coming up, and the pitcher will be on deck. So you got to figure he can pitch around Torres if he doesn't want to face him. And they're going to go ahead and give him a free pass. So they'll go straight to the source and face Kyle Gibson, who, just like his counterpart, Ian Anderson, not known to be great hitting pitchers. Now, Gibson does have a home run on the year, but he's batting 160 with 2 RBIs. So we'll see what the strategy is here. You don't want to just lay one in there, but you don't want to run the count up either and call a walk. First pitch, and it is a changeup banged into the dirt. Riley's on it, and Riley fires it over to first base. Inning over. Braves lead 1-0. We head to the bottom of the second. Adam Duvall is on the way.
Make sure when your shift is over, you go home alive.
Look at that. The Hendersons are getting a new fence.
Ah, who cares? They're swingers.
I want a new fence. That's it. We're never having sex again.
Need a home loan fast? At the American Bank of Los Santos, we'll help you get the debt you need to make life easier. We'll show you how to look richer and be poorer. You need to impress people fast, not in 20 years. It's only a risk if you get into money troubles or the economy changes. Call American Bank of Los Santos. Now that the kids have moved out and have drug problems of their own, maybe it's time to install a luxury marble wet bar so you can get drunk in private. American Bank of Los Santos. Why worry about tomorrow if you look inadequate today?
To protect her home and family in a disaster, Karen was willing to wade through water, mud, and insurance paperwork.
Yeah, I can do this.
You go, Karen! By simply understanding and updating what her insurance covers and doesn't cover now, she'll be better prepared no matter when disaster strikes. Learn other simple ways to protect your home and family before a natural disaster at ready.gov. That's ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council.
Lose some weight.
Oh, come on, quickly. Will you don't give me that.
Look at me, 92. And I still enjoy swimming, and golfing, and biking, all sports.
Whoopee.
That too.
Come on, after all, at your age, must be down to a handshake, huh?
Yep, before and after.
I'm Amy Lawrence, and I'm up late, always, after hours, hanging out with you on CBS Sports Radio. Check it out, 2 a.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. Pacific.
Welcome back here to Braves baseball. The Atlanta Braves lead 1-0 as off the bat of Jorge Soler. If you're just joining us, bottom of the first inning, he roasted one into the left center field stands, and the Braves get on the board quickly. They're going to try to add some more. Add some more pressure to the Phillies, as Adam Duvall will come up to start the beginning of the bottom of the second inning, as Phillies had the bases loaded, got out of that jam in the top of the second inning. Good pitching by Ian Anderson to navigate out of that mess. Kyle Gibson comes back to the mound as Adam Duvall gets set. And Gibson, big acquisition at the trading deadline, just hasn't quite worked out for Philadelphia. He's one of the most coveted right-handers at the trading deadline. When Philly landed him and Ian Kennedy, a lot of people had handicapped Philadelphia pulling away from the Braves and the Mets. Did not work out that way, as Atlanta is one win away from winning the NL East. And we get the inning going here as Gibson threw a couple of extra warm-up pitches. So here we go. And it is 1-0 Atlanta. Duvall digs in, ready for the first pitch, and fires it inside, across the letters, and it's 0-1. Looked like it was the sinker. Duvall, 38 home runs on the years, 112 RBI, 778 OPS. Here comes the 0-1 pitch, and hits him inside, 93 miles an hour on the elbow, but right on the elbow guard. So Duvall looks to be okay, and he'll head down to first with a free pass. The Braves got a runner on first, nobody out to lead off the bottom of the second. Looked like it just got away from Gibson. Duvall didn't have a chance to get out of the way, so he just kind of flinched and absorbed the blow. Probably have a bruise there tomorrow, but it looks like he's going to be okay. if the Braves can win tonight, they can just give them the night off. So that'll bring Eddie Rosario to the plate, playing left field and batting .258 with 13 home runs, coming over from the American League as well. And here comes the 84-mile-an-hour pitch. Slider banged into the dirt, and it's 0-1. Rosario just 1 for 6 in the series. And of course, he had could have been a very costly error. Here comes the 0-1 pitch, and it is sinker that is banged foul and out of play down the left field line. Very costly error. Could have cost the Braves game number 1. Will Smith was able to tap dance out of trouble, and the Braves went on to roll in game number 2. Back of the bullpen was not needed. The bats came alive, and Atlanta scored 7. Rich Rod closed it out last night. Here comes a fastball high and up in the zone. Rosario has to bend out of the way and out of the box, and it's 1-2. Gibson might be, I don't know if he's rattled or he's just losing a little bit of control. The humidity in Georgia's got to him. He's kind of been a little erratic this inning. Here comes the 1-2 pitch, and it is a slider fouled into the dirt, and it's 1-2. We'll do it again. College football scoreboard, the Virginia Cavaliers lead the Hurricanes 7-0 in the first quarter. Rosario steps out of the box and gets back in, gets set, and with Darnold on deck, here's the 1-2 pitch, and it is a changeup golfed high into right field, not very deep, and it's playable. Bryce Harper's underneath it, and it's 1 away here in the bottom of the second inning. Travis Darnold, he's due for a day off. This will be his 3rd game in a row without a day off, and typically Atlanta has been giving him 2 on and 1 off coming off that injury. They have geared him up a little more recently in such an important series that every game he's played all 3. Here comes the first pitch of the at bat, and it's a sinker outside the zone. It's 1-0. Kyle Gibson looks the runner back to first. He fires the 1-0 pitch, and it is a sinker outside the zone, but swung on and missed, and it's 1-1. Low and outside, but Darnold could not resist it. So he's reset for the 1-1 pitch. Duvall leading off first. Gibson looks him back. Here's the 1-1 pitch, and it's a slider this time. Same area, swung on and missed, and it's 1-2. It's like Darnold cannot lay off that low strike away with any kind of tailing action. We'll see what they do here on the 1-2 pitch. And Gibson gets set. JT sets up outside again, and it is a slider swung on and missed. Same area, about 6 inches outside the zone, and that'll put Travis down 2 away. Bottom of the first, the Braves lead 1-0. Coming up to bat will be Dansby Swanson. And Dansby Swanson, we all know, can hit the ball well the other way. He might be looking that way. We'll see what's going on here. He's hitting .249 on the year, 27 home runs, 4 for 7 in the series with 2 RBI. If he can get one in the gap, Duvall is sure to score. Here comes the first pitch. It's outside, 94 miles an hour, and it's 1-0. Looked like it was probably the sinker. Dansby digs in, gets ready for the next pitch. It's on the way and swung on and missed right down the pipe. It's 1-1. Dansby steps out of the box for a second and readjusts his helmet, gets ready for the 1-1 pitch. And JT sets up outside, and it is in the dirt. Slider, it's 2-1. Like to wish a happy 49th birthday to Jamal Anderson, famous for the Atlanta Falcons and the Dirty Bird. 49 years old today. Carlos Guillen is 46. And Jeremy Giambi, Jason's brother's 47. Dave Magadan, if you remember him from the Mets, he's 59 years old today. Here's the 2-1 pitch, and it is low, 3-1. Atlanta leads at 1-0, 3-1 count to Dansby Swanson, 2 away. You do have Ian Anderson on deck. So will they challenge him, or are they just trying to get him to chase? Here's the 3-1 pitch to Dansby, and it is a slider low and outside the zone. That's ball number 4, and that'll bring up the pitcher spot. So you got 2 away, but we will clear the pitcher spot this inning. Kyle Gibson up to 38 pitches. See if Ian Anderson can find his way on. At least make him burn a few more pitches. Get into that Philly bullpen sooner than later. Here's the first pitch to Ian from Gibson. He looks 2-ball back to second, and it's a swung on way out of the zone. 0-1 begins the at-bat. Boston trailing Baltimore 3-1 in the top of the 4th, and the Yankees and Jays are tied at 1. Rays and Astros 0-0 in the 4th. Here comes the 0-1 from Gibson to Ian Anderson. He swing and a miss. It's strike number 2. (0-2) pitch coming to Ian Anderson. Cubs putting it on the Pirates tonight, 9-0 in the 5th. Here comes the 0-2 pitch to Ian Anderson, and his slider way outside the zone, swung on and missed. And we'll head to the top of the 3rd inning. Herrera, Segura, and Harper are on the way. You're listening to Braves Baseball.
You just robbed a house. You have all this great stuff that now belongs to you, but you got this annoying pang of guilt nagging at you. Well, worry no more, because your friends at Cell Block Greeting Cards have the answer for you. Introducing our new line of petty crime thank you cards. Before you smash and grab one of our cards and leave it behind on your next heist. Choose from any of these fine heartfelt cards like,
thank you for the plasma TV.
Or,
thanks for the PlayStation, alcohol, and penny jar.
And,
don't use your toothbrush.
Or limited time, introducing,
I'm still in the house.
And many more sentimental petty crime thank you cards. Available at any back alley, shadowy parking lot, or
armchair.
Saturday mornings, 8:30 Eastern. Dixie Football Nation is back and better than ever. We've got Tony Agolini, Matt Carr, Tones Ariola, Bobby and Angelo, along with Mac McGee this fall. Dixie Football Nation heads to the gridiron, talking ACC, SEC, the Big Ten, and all the big games throughout the college football land. That's Dixie Football Nation, 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central, Saturday mornings on the Armchair Quarterback Show's YouTube channel, going live. Or catch the instant replay. Welcome back here to Braves Baseball. The Atlanta Braves lead the Philadelphia Phillies 1-0 heading to the top of the third inning. And Atlanta just one win away from winning the National League East. Their magic number is 1. So Braves win or a Phillies loss over the next 4 games would punch the ticket of the Braves into the playoffs, and they should face Milwaukee on Friday. And if you're just joining us, Milwaukee got the terrible news that their setup man, Devin Williams, broke his hand during a celebration night of drinking, and he's going on the IL. It looks like he's done for the season. Here's the first pitch to Herrera's. We're back to the top of the order in the top of the third, and it is a fastball on the outside part of the plate. It's 1-0. Ian Anderson, that's his 40th pitch on the night. So not terribly high, but not quite where you want it. Here's the first pitch, and it is shot over towards the gap. Adam Duvall gives the chase. He's on his horse. Sliding catch into left center field, and there's one away. Great play by Adam Duvall. Duvall got on his horse quickly, read the ball well off the bat, and was able to make a basket catch as he was sliding, running to his left side. Great athletic play as he gets the approval from the rest of the outfielders out there. Jorge Soler slapping his glove. And here comes the first pitch to Segura, and it's 0-1. Segura batting .291. It's been a catalyst for this Phillies offense throughout the year. Here comes a fastball popped up high and over to the first base side to Freddie Freeman. It's an easy out for out number 2. It's one of those high major league pop-ups that might bring rain. It doesn't go very far. Atlanta leads 1-0. 2 away quickly here in the third, but Bryce Harper pops into play here. If Ian Anderson can get out of this inning quickly, he's only thrown a few pitches in this inning. And Bryce Harper digs in to face Ian Anderson. Here comes the first pitch. And it is a swung on and hit deep and high into left field, but it'll be playable. Rosario's underneath it, and that's 3 quick outs is what Ian Anderson needed. We head to the bottom of the third. The Atlanta Braves lead 1-0. You're listening to Braves Baseball. Get your Sunday football morning started off right with the Handicappers on Armchair Quarterbacks YouTube, 10 a.m. Eastern to noon Eastern. Your Sunday morning kickoff show where we tackle your NFL lines out in the desert. A 61.2% win rate over the last 6 years. Against the spread, over, under, money line, you name it. And we dive into the world of fantasy football year long and your DFS payouts. your only true Southern football kickoff show that talks the spreads in Vegas, your DFS and fantasy, and your year-long quest to win that fantasy football championship. Only on the Armchair Quarterbacks YouTube channel. It's the Handicappers on Armchair Quarterbacks YouTube, 10 a.m. Eastern to noon Eastern. Sundays, all NFL season long.
It all starts with just one thing. When recycling, rinse out jars and cans, and avoid recycling wax paper or paper soiled with food. This will reduce recycling contamination. Find tips and more at onethingus.com. What's your one thing?
Slide here is your X. But if that's the call, Mike, Will, and Sam all have to know they're shifting. Open palms are post, thumbs ups are crosser, thumbs downs and out. Trevor, why don't you get up here and draw that for us?
Playing in the NFL is hard, but playing
Armchair
fantasy football is easy.
Fantasy football time. It's fantasy football time.
Welcome back here to Braves baseball. Atlanta leads it 1-0. Bottom of the third inning. We've got the top of the order coming back up. Jorge Soler, who smashed a solo shot his first time up. He digs in for the first pitch, and it is a sinker inside for ball number one. Soler batting .223 on the year. That was his 26th home run. Got things going for Atlanta here early. Take a little bit of pressure off of Ian Anderson as they try to clinch the division. Here's the 1-0 pitch, and it is hit sharply to the shortstop. Didi Gregorius has it as they're playing a little bit of a strong shift to the right side, and quickly one away as Didi fires it over to first. Soler jogging down the line was easily put away. So we've got one away with Freddie Freeman coming up to the plate. Freddie Freeman, who's 0 for 1, struck out first time up. Couldn't catch up to that slider inside for the third strike. And here comes the first pitch. And it's wide and outside the zone for ball one. Freddie Freeman's facing a shift to the right side of the infield. So you have your basic first and third with the first and second baseman. That ball's going to hit foul and just over the first baseman's head. The ball boy grabs it, and it's 1-1. So you got your first baseman Miller playing the line. You've got the second baseman Segura playing almost up the diamond, just a little off the right-hand side. And then they bring over, here comes the 1-1 pitch inside for 2-1. They bring the third baseman, Torres, over to a shallow right field, is essentially what he's playing. Actually, Didi Gregorius is over there, and Torres is the one playing by his lonesome on the left-hand side of the infield. So here comes the 2-1 pitch. JT sets up outside, and it is another slider swung on and missed. It might have been the curveball that time, and it's 2-2. Gibson, 47 pitches in, one away here in the bottom of the third. So Atlanta would love to get into that Philly bullpen. They've already seen quite a bit of in the first two games. Here's the 2-2 pitch from Gibson, and it is a curveball that Freddie's able to fight off foul and will do it again. It's 2-2. Two pitch from Gibson, as he gets the sign from JT, kind of mixed up on the signal. So Freddie's going to step out of the box and they're going to reset. Gibson and JT couldn't get on the same page. We'll see what they're going to dial up here. 2-2 count from Freddie Freeman. And here's the pitch and fastball inside, but a called strike. And that's strikeout number 2 for Freddie, the 4th for Gibson. And there's 2 away here in the top of the 3rd. I think Freddie was looking outside the zone and just got caught looking. Is that sinker faded back in over the plate. It started off outside the zone, but it kind of dipped back in, almost had that 2-seam action that the old Maddox fastball had. Here's the first pitch to Ozzie Albies. He digs in and it's 1-0. Sinker high and outside the zone. Gibson himself looking for a quick inning. It's Atlanta swinging early in the counts here, and here comes the 1-0 pitch that shot up the middle, but right at Didi Gregorius, and Ozzie will be out by plenty. So that'll end the 3rd inning. We head to the top of the 4th. Atlanta 1, Philly nothing. JT Realmuto is heading to the plate. ACC football covered like no other here on the Armchair Quarterback.
Reggie Gillespie dives into the end zone. The winning points for North Carolina State. And the teams come together in the end zone, pushing, shoving between the pack and the heels as Gillespie has scored the winning points, his 5th rushing TD. But these teams need to be separated. The emotion boils over on the last play of the game as Gillespie goes to the end zone. And it's a sea of Carolina blue and State red.
And Carruthers gets into it, and they've doused him, and now we've got a big brawl out on the field. Marring would have been the 200th victory for Bobby Bowden. Look at this. That's an ugly mess down there. This is ugly. Starting to get it cleared up down there, although there's still some bodies flying around.
ACC football, backyard brawls all year long.
I'm up. Biggest pick of the draft. 5th pick, 6th round. TJ Hoshimazode. Yes. Lock it up.
Who? What?
TJ, how's the vanilla? All right. TJ, who's your mama?
Fantasy Rule 17. Know how to pronounce your draft picks.
You mean TJ Hushmanzada from the Bengals?
Put him on the board. Hoshimazole. Got it. Championship.
Sign up for the free Armchair Quarterbacks Fantasy Football League today. Weekly prizes and grand prizes to the league champions. All you got to do is shoot us an email, armchairquarterbacks@yahoo.com. We'll send you an invite. Contact us today because seats are filling up. That's armchairquarterbacks@yahoo.com. Put fantasy football in the subject line.
Fantasy football time. It's fantasy football time.
Welcome back here to Braves baseball as JT Realmuto will dig in, leading off top of the 4th inning. Atlanta leads 1-0 off of a Jorge Soler solo shot in the 1st, and first pitch fouled back 94 miles an hour at the letters, and it's 0-1. College football scoreboard: Virginia Cavaliers lead Miami Hurricanes 9-0. That game's in the 2nd. Here comes the 0-1 pitch from Ian Anderson, and it is shot back up the middle, but Ozzie standing there as he hit it right into the teeth of the shift, and there's quickly 1 away as he fires it over to first. Freddie's got it. 1 away, top of the 4th inning, and that'll bring Brad Miller to the plate. Brad Miller, who's had a solid year for Philadelphia, 20 home runs. Like a little better average out of your first base at hitting 227. Here's the first pitch, and it's curveball in the dirt. It's 1-0. They're getting underway in Jacksonville with the Bengals and Jaguars. Got to have some kind of a fantasy football issue to be checking that scoreboard, but we will be keeping you abreast of that throughout the night. Here's the 1-0 pitch, and it is a called strike curveball. It's 1-1. And 1-1 pitch is shot back up the middle. Dansby is there as he gets the ball, as it skips over the second base bag, and there's quickly 2 away as he fires it down to first. Brad Miller gunned down in plenty of time. And Ian Anderson starting to feel it here. 2 away here, top of the 4th, and just 49 pitches into the night. So you got to like that. One of our things we were looking at to begin the game is, could he get deeper? Not just for this game. When he is called upon in October, here's the first pitch, and it's outside to McCutchen. It's 1-0. Anderson's going to be their number 3 guy. They don't want someone they can't rely on to go a little deeper. And here's a curveball in the dirt, and it's 2-0. He's struggled with consistency on his off-speed pitches, keeping them in the zone, which drives up his pitch count. Here comes the 2-0 pitch, and fastball outside, ball 3. 3-0, Didi Gregorius on deck. Missed every pitch. Pretty wide, and ball 4, 4-pitch walk as he throws a fastball in the outside part of the plate. Missed it by about 2 or 3 inches on that one, and there's 1 on, 2 away with the left-handed hitting. Didi Gregorius coming up to face Ian Anderson, the righty. Didi Gregorius is 0 for 1 on the night. He fouled out in the second inning. Phillies' best inning so far. Here comes the first pitch. It is a fastball, banged foul, pulled to the first base side, and it's 0-1. Didi came to the plate in the second with runners on second and third and 1 out, and popped up into the infield. Here comes the 0-1 pitch, and it's low changeup, ball 1, 1-1. Anderson would like to get out of this inning. Keep that pitch count down. Here comes the 1-1 pitch from Anderson, and it is swung on and missed. 87 miles an hour just outside the zone. Looked like a changeup, and it's 1-2. 1 strike away from getting out of this inning. Atlanta Braves lead 1-0. Ian Anderson digs in and gets the sign from Darnode. He looks back the runner, checks back in for the sign. Here comes the delivery on the 1-2 pitch, and it is rifled down the first base line, but Freddie Freeman is standing right there, makes the snag, out number 3. We head to the bottom of the 4th. Austin Riley's on the way. You're listening to Braves Baseball. Armchair Quarterbacks Radio covers the whole SEC the whole season long.
Dobbs heaves it. They're bunched up in the end zone. It's tipped up. It's caught. It is caught. Javon Jennings.
Just the start of things. First quarter at the Gator Bowl in Jacksonville. As Walker digs to the right. Gets outside. The 35. Look out. He's past midfield.
and he's got a blocker. Cuts to the inside. Herschel Walker. There he goes again.
Straight up the middle. Touchdown. Delayed reaction, but Tebow got in. Oh, jump pass. How about that? Looks like 1955. Holy cow. Are you kidding me?
Armchair.
SEC! SEC!
Saturday mornings, 8:30 Eastern. Dixie Football Nation is back and better than ever. We've got Tony Agolini, Matt Carr, Tones Ariola, Bobby and Angelo, along with Mac McGee this fall. Dixie Football Nation heads to the gridiron, talking ACC, SEC, the Big Ten, and all the big games throughout the college football land. That's Dixie Football Nation, 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central, Saturday mornings on the Armchair Quarterback Show's YouTube channel, going live, or catch the instant replay.
Tell you one thing, that's 3 holding penalties on one football team in a quarter and a half. That ain't funny.
Welcome back here to Braves Baseball. Grab you a cold one, pull up a chair. Atlanta leads 1-0 as we head to the bottom of the fourth. And the first pitch is called for an outside strike to Austin Riley. It's 0-1. Looked like a slider. And looking around the scoreboard in Major League Baseball, Yankees and Jays are tied. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Ball outside the zone. Wide outside the zone. It's 1-1. Boston trails Baltimore 3-1. Here's the 1-1 pitch in the dirt, swung on and missed, and it's 1-2. That was definitely the sinker from Gibson. Bottom just kind of dropped out of it. This will be a 1-2 pitch, and it swung on and it hung, and Riley's got it. He hits it high. He hits it deep. Bam! He knocks it out of the park. It's a solo shot, making the score 2-0. The second solo home run of the night for the Atlanta Braves. Looked like that was a slider that just didn't slide, and Austin Riley was on it. His 33rd home run of the year, about 6 rows back over the left field wall, and it's 2-0 Atlanta, bringing Adam Duvall to the plate. Braves celebrating in the dugout, doing the sword celebration, and Riley coming up big, Soler coming up big, Ian Anderson pitching a good game so far. Atlanta just 1 win away from winning that National League East. Braves country is rocking. Here's the first pitch to Duvall, and it's missed inside for 1-0. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Duvall, inside 2-0. Yeah, I have to agree. I think Austin Riley deserves the MVP votes. Absolutely. Here's the 2-0 pitch to Duvall, and it is inside for a strike. It's 2-1. Braves fans got the chop going. 2-0 lead. Bottom of the fourth. They can smell the National League East championship. You know that champagne is iced down, ready to roll here in Atlanta. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Duvall, and he swings a pitch outside the zone, and it's 2-2. Slider way outside the zone. That's Gibson's go-to pitch when he is looking for that out pitch. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. JT sets up in the same place, and it is a slider. Does not offer at it, Duvall, but it is called third strike as that one was a little closer. Looks like it just got the tail end of the zone. And so that'll bring up Eddie Rosario with one away as Atlanta leads 2-0. If you're just joining us, Austin Riley just hit a solo shot into the Phillies pen here in the bottom of the fourth to give it a 2-0 lead. Jorge Soler had a solo shot in the top of the bottom of the first inning to lead the game off to make it 1-0. And here comes Eddie Rosario. 258, 0 for 1. He flew out in the second inning. Just one away here. Here's the pitch, and there's a slider inside, swung over, and it's 0-1. Gibson gets the sign from JT. A little bit of a disagreement, but here we go now. There's 0-1 pitch, and it is cutter inside, hit foul, and it's 0-2. Darnode stands on deck. Here comes the 0-2 pitch from Rosario. And swung on and missed in the dirt for strike number 3. Rosario set down on strikes, and that'll bring Travis d'Arnaud to the plate. Travis d'Arnaud comes up and he gets ready for the first pitch. It's fired across, fastball on the outside part of the plate, and it's 0-1. d'Arnaud 0 for 1, struck out swinging. Could not lay off the outside slider. We'll see how they attack him in this at bat. And here comes the 0-1 pitch, and it is a sinker that is just on the outside part of just off the plate, and it's 1-1. So they went with sliders on the outside part of the plate in the first at bat. It looks like they're going for straighter stuff, trying to get them looking in the second at bat, but the same location. Little cat and mouse game. See how d'Arnaud adjusts as they set up inside, and it is a sinker across the belt. And inside, d'Arnaud lays off of it. It's 2-1. I think they were trying to get him leaning over, looking for anything outside and trying to get one in on his fist. But d'Arnaud did not take the bait. So here comes the 2-1 pitch. Braves lead at 2-0 off of 2 solo shots by Soler and Riley. And it is a slider on the outside. Check swing, and they're going to say that he went around. I'd like to see a replay on that because I don't know if he went around or not. Yeah, I guess he did. They're showing the replay, and it looks like he did offer at it. Here comes the 2-2 pitch, and it is a slider outside the zone. It's 3-2. Nothing else. Atlanta has ran Gibson's pitch count up a little bit. He'll be throwing his 69th pitch of the night. And the 3-2 pitch on the way with Swanson on deck. And inside, ball 4. We've got a runner on. 2 outs. Dansby Swanson coming up to the plate. It's Gibson. His 4th inning will extend. If Dansby can reach it, would clear the pitcher this inning. Not much of a chance of Darnode scoring from first to home, excuse me, with his speed. So Dansby takes the first pitch low and outside. It's 1-0. With the Braves leading, you would just like to be able to clear the pitcher for the next inning. Maybe you get a walk. Maybe Ian Anderson finds a way to get on base. Here's the 1-0 pitch inside. It's 2-0. Houston leads Tampa Bay 3-0. Here comes the 2-0 pitch to Dansby, and it is right across the letters for strike number 1. Went to the cutter on that one. 89 miles an hour. Kind of a get me over cutter for a 2-1 pitch now. Darnode leads off of first. Gibson looks him back. Not a threat to steal, but nonetheless, here's the 2-1 pitch, and Dansby pops it high and deep into right field. It is off the wall, and Travis Darnode is going to make it all the way around. They're sending him. There was enough air underneath that ball to give him a chance, and Darnode is sliding into home. He's going to be safe on a triple by Dansby Swanson. You don't see that every day. Get Travis Darnode the oxygen tank out. He goes from first to home on a balloon shot that goes off the right field wall. Dansby was sitting on it and just drove it the other way. It was a good relay by Harper and a great throw by Segura. But Darnode was able to just sneak in before the tag. Though he's not the fastest player on the field, was giving it his all. And tip of the cap to Darnode as the Braves lead at 3-0. And that'll bring Ian Anderson to the plate. And swung on and missed. It's 0-1. Well, I've got egg on my face. I didn't think he could score unless the ball left the building on Dansby Swanson's at bat. A triple by Swanson, RBI triple. Here comes the next pitch, slider swung on and miss, and it's 0-2. Love being wrong about something like that as the Braves lead at 3-0. And Ian Anderson is called for strike 3. That'll do it, but not before the Atlanta Braves score 3. We head to the top of the 5th inning. Atlanta 3, Philadelphia 0. You're listening to Braves Baseball.
God would never let me be successful. He'll kill me first. He'll never let me be happy.
I thought you didn't believe in God.
I do for the bad things.
Armchair Quarterback Radio, your home for the SEC.
Back third down on the 8. In trouble. Got a block behind him. Gonna throw and a run. Complete to the 25. To the 30. Lindsey's got 35, 41. Lindsey, 25, 20, 50, 10, 5. Lindsey stop. Lindsey stop. Lindsey stop.
Second down from the 3. Comes the blitz. Quick flip. Caught. Did he hold it long enough? The official says yes. Oh boy, is that going to be controversial. Gaffney, the freshman. My goodness.
If he had it, he didn't have it very long, that's for sure.
And this one's in the history books. And inexplicably, the Florida Gators go 91 yards to come from behind and edge the Tennessee Volunteers in an ending that will be talked about for years.
Armchair.
1-1 pitch. A long drive to right. Ramirez turns to the track. She's gone. Dave Justice, all is forgiven in Atlanta.
Bob, it's okay to talk the talk if you can walk the walk.
Every morning, the Armchair Quarterbacks will be headed to Braves country. Along with the big headlines of the day, the Armchair Quarterbacks will be leading off with the Atlanta Braves. That's Braves country, weekdays on the Armchair Quarterbacks.
Baerga is 0 for 3. Left center field. Grissom on the run. The team of the 90s proves its world championship.
Welcome back here to Braves baseball. The Atlanta Braves lead the Philadelphia Phillies 3-0 off of 2 solo shots and a hustle triple from Dansby Swanson and Travis d'Arnaud coming all the way around to score. As we start the top of the 5th inning, Torreyes leads it off, and it's a called first strike. It's 0-1. Top of the 5th inning, Atlanta 3-0, and the 0-1 pitch. It is a curveball called as a kind of a wide strike. It's 0-2. We'll take it. Phillies are kind of looking back at Blue, shaking their head. It was borderline at best. Here's the 0-2 pitch, and it is swung on, shot back up the middle. Ozzie is right over it on the shift, and that'll be one away. Would bring Gibson up to the plate. We'll see if they do the same thing they did last night and leave Gibson in. He's not pitching quite the game that Nola was pitching. We'll see if they will bring Gibson back up. That tells you how little faith that Girardi has in his bullpen. Down 3 in a must-win game. Here's the 3. Here comes the first pitch, and it's missed low and away, 1-0. Curveball in the dirt. Any other circumstance, the manager would be pulling his pitcher out right now. Here comes the 1-0 pitch, and missed high for 2-0. You don't want to walk the pitcher here with a 143 average. 393 OPS. They set up across the middle, fastball swung on and fouled back to the screen. It's 2-1. You got to at least make him beat you, make him swing that bat. Last thing we need to do is give up a free pass heading to the top of the order. Here comes the 2-1 pitch, and fastball right across the belt, and it's 2-2. Dubal Herrera is on deck. Here's the 2-2 pitch from Ian Anderson. Bang! Strikeout. Ian Anderson strikes out the pitcher on a swing and a miss. And there's 2 away at the top of the 5th inning. You're listening to Braves baseball. Real quick around the scoreboard. Virginia Cavaliers lead the Miami Hurricanes 9-0, 5 minutes left in the second. The Jaguars and Bengals are 0-0 in the first. Here's first pitch to Herrera. Fastball across the belt, and it's 1-0. 0-1, excuse me. Called first strike. Herrera 0 for 2 with a pop out and line out, and curveball missed in the dirt, and it's 1-1. Anderson working a little faster now. He's just 67 pitches into the night, and in the 5th inning, if he can get out of this mess, out of this inning, not a mess, if he can get out of this inning quickly, he'll definitely be back out for the 6th. And we're at 2-1 of the changeup miss up outside the zone. Mets lead the Marlins 5-3. Here comes a pop-up. High and in the infield. Freddie Freeman's underneath it, out number 3. And to the bottom of the 5th we go. Your Atlanta Braves lead 3-0. Keep it locked in here for Braves baseball.
God would never let me be successful. He'll kill me first. He'll never let me be happy.
I thought you didn't believe in God.
I do for the bad things.
Armchair Quarterback Radio, your home for the SEC.
Back third down on the 8. In trouble. Got a block behind him. Going to throw and a run. Complete to the 25. To the 30. Lindsey's got 35, 41. Lindsey, 25, 20, 50, 10, 5. Lindsey stop. Lindsey stop. Lindsey stop.
Second down from the 3. Comes the blitz. Quick flip. Caught. Did he hold it long enough? The official says yes. Oh boy, is that going to be controversial. Gaffney, the freshman. My goodness.
If he had it, he didn't have it very long, that's for sure.
And this one's in the history books. And inexplicably, the Florida Gators go 91 yards to come from behind and edge the Tennessee Volunteers in an ending that will be talked about for years.
Armchair.
1-1 pitch. A long drive to right. Ramirez turns to the track. She's gone. Dave Justice, all is forgiven in Atlanta. Bob, it's okay to talk the talk if you can walk the walk.
Every morning, the Armchair Quarterbacks will be headed to Braves country. Along with the big headlines of the day, the Armchair Quarterbacks will be leading off with the Atlanta Braves. That's Braves country, weekdays on the Armchair Quarterbacks.
Baerga is 0 for 3. Left center field. Grissom on the run. The team of the 90s holds its world championship.
Welcome back here to Braves baseball as we'll get Jorge Soler leading off the inning here. Braves lead it 3-0, bottom of 5, and the first pitch is on the way, and it is a called strike, sinker on the outside part of the zone. Jorge Soler solo shot in the top of the first inning. And here comes the 0-1 pitch to Soler. And it is a curveball held up and in the dirt. It's 1-1. Looking around the American League, Toronto leads the Yankees 2-1, but the Red Sox trail the Orioles 5-1. In a game they need desperately. Here comes the one. Gibson's going to step off the mound. We'll reset again for the 1-1 pitch. We'll take a look at the standings here in a bit. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. JT sets up on the outside, and it is low, and they're going to call that a strike. That's a very generous strike. It's 1-2. The Yankees lead for the top spot in the wild card game. They have a 1-game lead over Boston. If it ended today, it'd be the Red Sox at the Yankees. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. And swung on and miss, sinker out of the zone, and one away here in the bottom of the 3rd. Right behind the Red Sox, the Seattle Mariners are just a half game behind them. And just below the Mariners, Toronto is a half game behind Seattle, 1 game out of Boston. So they're going 4 wide into the final weekend. All 4 teams separated by just 2 games. We could have one heck of a fun mess on Monday for some play-in action. Here comes the first pitch to Freddie Freeman. It's a cutter on the inside part of the plate, and it's 1-0. Freddie Freeman digs in. He's 0 for 2 on the night with 2 strikeouts. Third time seeing Gibson, so we'll see what he gets with it. Is another Cutter way inside, almost a sliding action. It is 2-0. Got to figure that was the cutter that just kind of got away, bended a little bit because it was same beginning action and speed. Here comes the 2-0 pitch to Freddie, and now it's wide on the outside part of the plate. Curveball, and it's 3-0. So Freddie's going to have a 3-1 pitch, 3-0 pitch. Will he be swinging or will he be forcing Gibson to throw a strike? Here comes the 3-0 pitch to Freddie. And Singer down the pipe. It's fouled back. He was swinging. 3-1. Freddie just mistimed it. The Braves lead here 3-0. Phillies just one hit on the night. The Braves have 3, 2 of them home runs, the other a triple. Here comes the 3-1 pitch to Freddie. He shoots it to the right side of the infield, just underneath Segura's glove. Freddie's going to reach first base. I think that's got to be an error on Segura. It was hard hit, but it was right at him and went right underneath his glove. Sure, Segura would tell you he should have it. It will be an error, so no base hit for Freddie Freeman. Anyone took that player prop, who's 1.5 total bases, will not count as a base. Anyone who's laid that kind of hay down knows it's only singles, doubles, triples, and home runs. Walks, errors, base on balls, fielder's choice, none of those count. They're going to make a trip to the mound to talk to Gibson. It looks like they are going to keep him in, trying to get some kind of a strategy on how to face Ozzie Albies. Will step up from the left side of the plate. The Braves fans are getting into it, and they know they are just 12 outs away from their 4th consecutive National League East Division title, a very unlikely title with the injuries to Acuna. Here comes a slider swung on down hard, high in the zone, and Freddie is on his horse as Ozzie rips it down the first base line over the head of the first base into the corner. It rattles around. Bryce Harper picks it up, throws it into the infield as Freddie's going to come all the way from first to home and score. Ozzie got on his horse, and with all the relays, he's going to be standing on third base with one away, as I would think that's probably going to be called a double. Was shot down the right field line, rattled around the corner when Harper finally got the ball and relayed it up to JT, who was standing at home, but the ball was up the line a little bit. So no chance for him to make any kind of a tag on Freddie. And Ozzie gets his way over to third base, one away. That's going to do it for Gibson. They're making a call to the pen. We'll take a break with them. The Braves lead 4-0 with Austin Riley coming up with one on and one out.
You better get that checked out.
Better get that checked out?
I would.
What kind of a therapist are you? I'm telling you, I'm scared that something terrible is going to happen to me right away. You start looking for tumors?
I'm trying to help you.
I bet you're rooting for a tumor.
I think you better go.
No, I'm going, baby. I'm going.
It's important to remember the value of taking time for ourselves to do the things that help us grow and explore, like learning something new. And now with the Great Courses Plus, it's never been easier to experience the joys of learning. The Great Courses Plus offers thousands of streaming videos that cover hundreds of fascinating topics, from World War II to choosing the perfect wine. You can even take a course on the U.S. government or dealing with stress and anxiety. And because the Great Courses Plus partners with world-class professors and experts, you're always receiving thoroughly vetted, high-quality content from every lecture. Plus, you can watch or listen anytime, anywhere with the Great Courses Plus app. So take a little time for you. Sign up for the Great Courses Plus today for a free month of unlimited access. Visit thegreatcoursesplus.com/radio to get started. That's thegreatcoursesplus.com/radio.
I'm up. Biggest pick of the draft. 5th pick, 6th round. TJ Hoshimazode. Yes, lock it up.
Who? What?
TJ, how's the vanilla? All right. TJ, who's your mama?
Fantasy Rule 17. Know how to pronounce your draft picks.
You mean TJ Hushmanzada from the Bengals?
Put him on the board. Hoshimazole. Got it. Championship.
Fantasy football time. It's fantasy football time.
Welcome back here to Braves Baseballs. We have a pitching change here in Atlanta, and Connor Brogdon fires it into Austin Riley. He swings at the first pitch, and he singles it on a ground ball up the middle, and it is going to get through for a run scored. As Ozzie Albies comes home from third base, it was kind of fisted in on Riley's, broke his bat. And with the infield playing in, just went over the head of Gregorius. They were playing on at normal depth. It would have been an out, but Ozzie comes home to score. It'll be an RBI single, and the Braves lead it 5-0, bottom of the 5th. Here comes the first pitch to Duvall from Brogdon. He tried to ambush him, swung on and missed. It's 0-1. Atlanta Braves leading by 5 runs. Magic number is just down to 1. So if they hold on here, just 12 outs away. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Fastball fired on and missed by Duvall. It's 0-2. 12 outs away from the National League East championship. Gibson looks on from the dugout in disgust. Did not have it tonight. Here comes the 0-2 pitch as Duvall set and ready and swings at what is definitely a ball, fouls it off. It's 0-2 again. There's a changeup in the dirt. It was almost like a cricket shot. The ball almost bounced before he swung, but he made contact. So we'll do it again at 0-2. A lot of big games in college football this weekend. Georgia Bulldogs will be hosting game day. They take on the Razorbacks at noon. The Alabama Crimson Tide and Ole Miss Rebels. Here comes the 0-2 pitch, high and outside the zone. It's 1-2. That game will be at 3:30 Eastern. Then you got the Florida Gators playing Kentucky at 6 Eastern. And LSU Auburn at 9 Eastern. So you got a full day of SEC heavyweights battling. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. It's inside for ball 2. It's 2-2. Runner on first. 1 out. Duvall with the 2-2 pitch. Eddie Rosario on deck. The Darnode in the hole. Here comes the 2-2 pitch and swung on and missed it. Strike number 3. So Duvall swings and misses. But Atlanta leads 5-0. And Eddie Rosario steps in 0 for 2 on the night with the strikeout. See if he can get something going here. Boston trails 6-1 in the top of the 7th inning. to Baltimore. Here comes a fastball, and it is shot in the right field, but into the shift, and Segura makes an incredible diving stab, jumps up from his knees, guns down Rosario at first. So that'll do it, but not before the Braves extend their lead. It's 5-0 Atlanta. We head to the 6th inning, one win away from the National League East championship.
This portion of the show is being brought to you by the best things in life, which are still free with minimum purchase at participating dealers.
Get your Sunday football morning started off right with the Handicappers on Armchair Quarterbacks YouTube, 10 a.m. Eastern to noon Eastern. Your Sunday morning kickoff show where we tackle your NFL lines out in the desert, a 61.2% win rate over the last 6 years. Against the spread, over, under, money line, you name it. And we dive into the world of fantasy football year long and your DFS payouts. Your only true Southern football kickoff show that talks the spreads in Vegas, your DFS and fantasy, and your year-long quest to win that fantasy football championship. Only on the Armchair Quarterbacks YouTube channel. It's the Handicappers on Armchair Quarterbacks YouTube, 10 a.m. Eastern to noon Eastern. Sundays, all NFL season long.
It all starts with just one thing. Glass jars can be reused to store food and spices, as a holder for combs and brushes in the bathroom, or as a container for plants and homemade candles, in addition to simply being recycled. Find tips and more at onethingus.com.
Let me tell you something. If the U.S. government decides to stick a tracking device up your ass, you say thank you and God bless America.
Hi, this is Britney Spears.
What up, this Jay-Z.
This is Jennifer Lopez. Armchair.
Welcome back to Braves Baseball. First pitch on the way from Ian Anderson, and it is a called first strike. It's 0-1. Fastball right outside on the black and high in the zone. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. It is a fastball up around the eyes, and it's 1-1. Segura digs in, hitting 0 for 2 tonight, 291 on the season. And fastball inside on the hands, popped up high and out of play. And it's 1-2. Real quick update around the league. In the 6th, Houston leads Tampa 3-2. The Yankees lead Toronto 3-2, and Boston has now scored, trails Baltimore 6-2 in the 7th. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Fastball outside the zone, and it's 2-2. Braves lead 5-0. Top of the 6th, Bryce Harper on deck, and Segura swings at would have been ball 3, knocks it foul, and we'll do it again on a 2-2 count. So the Sox and O's are in the top of the 7th at 6-2. Boston's threatening. The Yankees 3-2, top of the 6th over Toronto. Robbie Ray was on the hill versus Kluber tonight. And here's the 2-2 pitch. It is a changeup, fouled, pulled to the right side of the infield, and it's 3-2. I'm sorry, 2-2 again. We'll do it again. Harper due up with JT in the hole. If anyone gets on, it'll be Brad Miller. Here comes the 2-2 pitch, swung on and missed. Strike number 3. And that'll be Ian Anderson's second strikeout of the night. As he is dealing tonight It's been a little more consistent in the zone, keeping his pitch count down. There's one away on the top of the sixth, and he's at 76 pitches. Ian could go back out there for inning number 7 if everything falls right here for Atlanta. Atlanta leads 5-0. We are just one win away from winning the NL East and the champagne being popped in Hotlanta, GA. Here comes the first pitch, curve ball, swung and missed on the outside part of the plate. It's 0-1. Jaguars lead Cincinnati Bengals 7-0, and the Virginia Cavaliers lead the Hurricanes 16-7 as they head towards the half. Here comes the 0-1 pitch in the dirt, and it's 1-1. Bryce Harper came in by about a step and a half, and there's 2 away with JT Realmuto coming to the plate. JT is 0 for 2 himself. The Phillies only have 1 hit on the night. That was McCutchen. Ian Anderson hitting his stride, hopefully at the right time, as the Braves look to be heading towards the playoffs, and they're desperately needing that number 3 pitcher to step up behind Charlie Morton and Max Fried, as they will face a very tough Milwaukee team, which Atlanta is sure to be heavy underdogs, and facing probably Corbin Burns, who could be your NL Cy Young winner in game number 1. First pitch is fouled back, and it's 0-1 to Realmuto. 2 out. If he gets on, Miller is on deck. McCutchen's in the hole. The Braves are into the Phillies bullpen. Here comes the 0-1 pitch, swung on and missed, change up, and it's 0-2. Ian Anderson just at 81 pitches. So you would think he's coming back out for the 7th inning. It's a change up, and swing by JT. He hits it back to the pitcher. Ian Anderson has it, tosses it to first. That's out number 3. That's the end of the top of the 6th. We head to the bottom of the 6th. Atlanta leads 5-0. We'll be back in a flash. You're listening to Braves Baseball.
This portion of the show is being brought to you by The Best Things in Life, which are still free with minimum purchase at participating dealers.
Get your Sunday football morning started off right with the Handicappers on Armchair Quarterbacks YouTube, 10 a.m. Eastern to noon Eastern. Your Sunday morning kickoff show where we tackle your NFL lines out in the desert. A 61.2% win rate over the last 6 years. Against the spread, over, under, money line, you name it. And we dive into the world of fantasy football year long and your DFS payouts. Your only true Southern football kickoff show that talks the spreads in Vegas, your DFS and fantasy, in your year-long quest to win that fantasy football championship. Only on the Armchair Quarterbacks YouTube channel. It's the Handicappers on Armchair Quarterbacks YouTube, 10 a.m. Eastern to noon Eastern. Sundays, all NFL season long.
It all starts with just one thing. Glass jars can be reused to store food and spices, as a holder for combs and brushes in the bathroom, or as a container for plants and homemade candles, in addition to simply being recycled. Find tips and more at onethingus.com.
Let me tell you something. If the U.S. government decides to stick a tracking device up your ass, you say thank you and God bless America.
Hi, this is Britney Spears.
What up, this Jay-Z.
This is Jennifer Lopez. Armchair.
Welcome back here to Braves Baseball. Boys and girls, grab you a cold one, pull up your seat. If you don't have one cracked open now, the Braves are just 9 outs away from the National League East Championship for 2021. As Ian Anderson has been throwing a gem, the Braves lead at 5-0. If you're just joining us, Travis d'Arnaud's going to lead off the bottom of the 6th here. Braves scored a solo shot by Jorge Soler in the bottom of the 1st inning to get things going. They scored 2 in the 4th, 2 in the 5th, lead at 5-0 off of 5 hits. And here comes the first pitch from Brogdon to start things off, and it's 1-0. Brogdon back out there for the 6th inning as he finished off the 5th inning. Kyle Gibson getting knocked out. We'll get his numbers out here in a second. Here comes a fastball high and inside. d'Arnaud has to bend out of the way, and it's 2-0. Gibson gave Philly 4 1/3 innings, 4 earned runs, 5 altogether. Here comes the 2-0 pitch and fastball across the belt, and it's 2-1. 2 walks, 8 strikeouts, and gave up 2 taters over the fence, along with the triple to Dansby Swanson. Here comes the 2-1 pitch to d'Arnaud. He fights it off, fouls it back, and it's 2-2. d'Arnaud may still be out of breath running from first to home on that triple from Swanson. It was a balloon shot that caromed off the wall and gave d'Arnaud enough time to get around the bases. Here comes the 2-2 pitch and swung on, hit foul. It will do it again at 2-2. Dansby Swanson stands on deck with Anderson due up. He had his arm wrapped, but it didn't look like it was ice. So you would think he's going back out there for the 7th inning. So I would think Anderson would bat, but we'll see what happens here. Here's a 2-2 pitch, swung on and missed at the letters, and it's 1 away here in the Atlanta 6th inning. Thank you for joining us here for Braves baseball. We will be here all throughout October, bringing you the action here on the channel. That first game should be Friday afternoon, but it's yet to be announced. Here comes the first pitch, and it is a cutter. Just catches the corner. It's 0-1. There'll be 4 games on Friday. The American League wild card is on Tuesday night. The National League on Wednesday night. Here comes the 0-1 pitch, swung on and missed. 0-2 by Swanson. So that'll give you a doubleheader of American League action on Thursday. And on Friday, all 4 series will be in action. You'll have game 2s in the American League, and those will typically end up as the night games. The late night game could possibly be San Fran and LA, as 0-2 pitch fouled off by Swanson. We'll do it again. So one would probably think it'll be Tampa Bay versus the wild card winner in the primetime game on Friday night, next Friday night. Dodgers Giants as your late night game. And you'll probably have, here's the fastball high and inside. Swanson has to bend out of the way. And it's 1-2. So typically how they've done it in the past, that would give you White Sox and Astros. Here's the 1-2 pitch, changeup roasted into left field. And Dansby's on with a leadoff, with a 1-out single. That'll bring the pitcher spot up. See what they do here. Does look like it will be Ian Anderson. grabbing a bat and probably setting up for a bunt attempt. So that will, if Houston and the White Sox are playing late afternoon on a Friday evening, normally they've usually choose around a 5 p.m. start. That would probably put Atlanta versus Milwaukee around 2 p.m. Eastern. Here comes the fastball high and taken for a called strike as Anderson was squaring around a bunt. We got the 0-1 pitch here on the way. And fastball high and outside the zone. It's 0-2. Atlanta leads it 5-0. The 0-2 pitch, and he tries to bunt it one more time, does not make contact, and it's strike number 3. Anderson will go back there and grab the pine, get ready to pitch the 7th inning. And here's hoping Jorge Soler gives him a few pitches to rest. As Atlanta leads at 5-0. Most important thing is getting Anderson back out there for the 7th and keep him on his roll. If he gets quick outs in the 7th, he could pitch into the 8th, but let's not put the cart before the horse quite yet. Soler digs into the first pitch, and it is called for a first strike, slider at the knees, and it's 0-1. Good to see Soler was taking that first pitch. I'd like to see that leadoff hitter give the pitcher a chance to get back and get settled, not have to jump right up. Here comes the 0-1 pitch and swung on and missed. It's 0-2. You can give that starting pitcher that one strike. After that, you got to watch your own hide at the at bat. So here comes the 0-2 pitch to Soler. Runner on first, 2 outs. The Braves lead at 5-0. And swung on and hammered foul down the third base line. Looked like it went out of play, so it'll be 0-2. We'll do it again. Freddie Freeman stands on deck. You're just joining us. The Braves lead at 5-0. We're in the bottom of the 6th, 1 on, 2 away. Soler, who hit a home run in the first, is up, and it is a fastball high and outside the zone. It's 1-2. Brogdon looks like he's laboring a little bit. This will be his 27th pitch of the at-bat, so I can imagine he won't go much farther if Soler were to get on. Here's the 1-2 pitch and swung on and missed. 95 miles an hour up around the chest. Strikeout and out number 3. That'll do it for the 6th. We head to the 7th. Braves 5, Phillies 0. 1 win away from going to October.
He only has 3 rings.
Saturday mornings, 8:30 Eastern. Dixie Football Nation is back and better than ever. We've got Tony Agolini, Matt Carr, Tones Areola, Bobby and Angelo, along with Mac McGee this fall. Dixie Football Nation heads to the gridiron, talking ACC, SEC, the Big Ten, and all the big games throughout the college football land. That's Dixie Football Nation, 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central, Saturday mornings on the Armchair Quarterback Show's YouTube channel, going live, or catch the instant replay.
I'm not playing your stupid game.
My hotel's nice, and I was in the elevator. There's a sign in the elevator that said maximum capacity 12 persons. 12 persons. Somebody needs to tell the folks down at the elevator company that the plural of the word person is people. It's not persons, right? The hotel pool had a similar sign. It said maximum capacity 180 people. Do we really need legislation for that sort of thing? Doesn't it kind of govern itself? Don't most of us just hang back and go, I don't want to get in the pool with that many people? It's not going to be refreshing, knocking up against other people's arms and skin. Move, I have a legal right to be here. Banging elbows, move. I did a head count. Like in the bathroom stall, we don't put a sign that says maximum capacity 1 person. I just see the shoes and I keep on moving.
I'm Amy Lawrence, and I'm up late, always after hours, hanging out with you on CBS Sports Radio. Check it out, 2 a.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. Pacific.
Welcome back here to Atlanta Braves baseball. The Braves lead the Philadelphia Phillies 5-0, top of the 7th, in what is essentially an elimination game. If the Braves win, they eliminate the Phillies from the NL East race, and the Braves would win their 4th consecutive NL East title and head to October to face the Milwaukee Brewers on Friday. Here comes the first pitch. It's 0-1, and we're underway here in the 7th. 0-1 pitch comes in, and it's fastball inside. It's 1-1, and Brad Miller is up to the plate, quickly gets it back in, and they fire a curveball. Miller sharply hits it into center field. Duvall is on top of it, gets it back in a hurry, but the Phillies have 1 on, nobody out, and McCutchen due up. Looked like it just hung up in the zone, enough for Miller to drive it. Braves lead at 5-0. Top of the 7th, 9 outs away from your NL East title, Atlanta. And here comes the pitch. It is low and inside to McCutchen, and it's 1-0. It's the 86th pitch by Anderson. The Braves will have the bullpen stirring, but hoping he can get out of this inning. Here comes the 1-0 pitch to McCutchen, and fastball on the outside part of the plate, swung and fouled back to the screen. It's 1-1. Looks like Minter and Chavez are warming up in the pen, giving a righty-lefty option. And here comes the 1-1 pitch. It is curveball, swung and hammered foul, and it's 1-2. Virginia leads Miami 16-7 at the half in college football. We'll get you updated on the other scores. The Jaguars lead Cincinnati 14-0 in a bit of a surprise in Ohio. Here comes the 1-2 pitch from Ian Anderson, and curveball fouled away again. We'll do it again. It's 1-2. Major League Baseball. Around the league, you got Orioles up on Boston 6-2 at the top of the 8th. And the Yankees are now 5-2 in front of Toronto, top of 7. Here comes the 1-2 pitch to McCutchen from Anderson, and fastball high and outside the zone. It's 2-2. Houston leads Tampa Bay 3-2. The Astros 1 win away from clinching their division. San Fran and Arizona get started here in about 20 minutes. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. And fastball hit high, inside, hit deep. It's going back, over the wall and fair. A 2-run shot by McCutchen, and the Phillies are back in it. It's 5-2, nobody out, top of the 7th. just kind of hung it inside, and McCutchen knew what to do with it. McCutchen has 2 of Philadelphia's 3 hits. You hate to see that, but Atlanta does still lead by 3. And Ian Anderson looks like he is on his way out. So that'll do it for Ian. They're going to make a call to the pen. We'll do the same. We'll be back in a flash here. Atlanta leads 5-2, 9 outs away from the East. You're listening to Atlanta Braves.
To protect his family from disaster, Steve used his camera phone.
Done.
By taking pictures of his important documents, Steve can always have them stored online. Learn more simple disaster prep tips at ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council.
Nix again with 36 seconds left. Ball at the left hash mark. 2 wide outs to the right, 1 to the left. Florida's got the big rush on Nix. He floats 1 in the end zone. It is call it, touchdown Auburn! Sanders caught it! Touchdown Auburn! Touchdown Auburn! Frank Sanders from Nix. Auburn's ahead. Auburn's ahead. Touchdown of 8 yards. Nix to Sanders. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? Auburn has done it again. Ball game is over. I've seen it, but I do not believe it. Yes, the streak is alive. Auburn 36, Gators 33. Number 1 has fallen by the wayside.
That's not what he said, you ignorant wretch. Spanish is worse than your English.
Saturday mornings, 8:30 Eastern. Dixie Football Nation is back and better than ever. We've got Tony Agolini, Matt Carr, Tones Areola, Bobby and Angelo, along with Mac McGee this fall. Dixie Football Nation heads to the gridiron, talking ACC, SEC, the Big Ten, and all the big games throughout the college football land. That's Dixie Football Nation, 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central, Saturday mornings on the Armchair Quarterback Show's YouTube channel, going live, or catch the instant replay. Welcome back here to Braves baseball. Pitching change for Atlanta. It's going to be Minter coming out of the pen. 3.83 ERA, 20 walks, 55 strikeouts over 49 innings. That'll close the books on Ian Anderson. 6 innings, 2 earned runs, 3 hits, and 2 strikeouts. Here's the first pitch. Fastball wide and outside, 96 miles an hour. Fastball to Didi Gregorius. It's 1-0. DD is 0 for 2. Left the bases loaded. Back in the second. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Fastball fouled back to the screen. It's 1-1. And Atlanta trying to find a way to hold on to this lead. 9 outs away from the division championship. Here comes the 1-1 pitch, and fastball high and outside the zone. It's 2-1. A little erratic to start off is AJ Minter. Torreyes would be on deck, and then the pitcher spot. Got to figure they might be going to Vierling if there's a rally going. Here comes a 2-1 pitch. Swung on and fouled back to the screen. It's 2-2. AJ Minter had to go back to the farm to get his game right again. He's pitched pretty well since he's came back. Braves fans know that he does have the tendency from time to time to kind of lose it. They hope they're getting the AJ Minter that we got in the postseason last year and not in the spring of this year. Here's a cutter slammed to the right side of the infield. Freddie's on it. He's going to scoop it up. He'll trot over to first, step on the bag, and there's one away. It's unbelievable that Boston is losing again to Baltimore, needing these games desperately. They had it set up. They're playing Baltimore and the Nationals all week. They cannot get out of their own way. They are trailing 6-2, bottom of the 8th. Yankees lead the Jays 5-2, and Houston's up on Tampa 3-2. Both of those games are in the 7th. Torreyes digs in. Here comes the first pitch from Minter, and it is a slider called for a strike, and it's 0-1. Just nipped the inside of the corner. Here comes the 0-1 pitch as Minter gets the sign, leans down, rocks back, and here's the delivery. Swung on and fouled back off of his shin, and it's 0-2. Looked like the fastball. Atlanta leads 5-2. The top of the 7th inning. Nobody on, one away. Philly already scoring 2 runs in this inning from a 2-run shot by Andrew McCutchen. Here comes the 0-2 pitch to Torreyes, and swung on and fouled again off of his leg. It's 0-2 once again. Minter looks disgusted that he couldn't get him out on that pitch. We'll do it again. Looks like Luke Jackson is warming up in the pen now. The Jaguars lead the Bengals 14-0. Here comes the 0-2 pitch, and say change up in the dirt. It's 1-2. One-two pitch. Minter gets the call, leans in, fires back, and in the dirt, 97 miles an hour, and it's 2-2. Two count. Minter gets a sign. Atlanta trying to hold on to this lead here. Here comes the 2-2 pitch to Torreyes, and fastball shot over to third, but Austin Riley's on it, and he guns down Torreyes for 2 away. Austin Riley was on top of that as it got scorched over to the third base side, and he was able to gun down Torreyes with ease. And that'll bring up the pinch hitter, and they're going to go to Alec Bohm. I think they're going to hold on to Veerling for when there might be a bit of a rally going. Atlanta leads at 5-2. Alec Bohm, of course, the infamous tag at home plate back in April on the Sunday night baseball game where he never touched home, but he was called safe. The Phillies won that game. Braves fans have yet to forget and would love to celebrate tonight in front of Philadelphia. Be the third time in 4 seasons that the Braves will have clinched against the Phillies. Phillies have their pen up and going with Alvarado. Here comes the 1-0 pitch to Bohm. The first pitch was a fastball called outside, and it shot into left field. Change up, and Bohm gets a single. It's runner on first, 2 away, and that'll bring up the top of the order in Odubel Herrera. The last thing Atlanta wanted to see was the top of the order in this inning. So we'll see how long of the leash will be for Minter. He'll face Herrera here, the lefty, but will they leave him in if he gets on? Segura, the righty, would be up and representing the tying run. So here comes the first pitch to Herrera, and d'Arnaud sets up outside, fastball on the outside part of the plate, 97 miles an hour on the black, and it's 0-1. Herrera looks like he's not agreeing with the call, but it was definitely a strike. And so here we go. Minter trying to get out of this unscathed. Here comes the 0-1 pitch, and Cutter dribbled back up the middle, and Swanson's on it. He's gonna toss it over to third to first for an easy out. Freddie's got it, and that'll get us out of the inning. The Braves lead 5-2. We head to the bottom of the 7th. Get up and stretch, y'all. How about them Braves? Just 6 outs away from a division title.
The Almighty says this must be a fashionable fight. It's drawn the finest people.
Get your Sunday football morning started off right with the Handicappers on Armchair Quarterbacks YouTube, 10 a.m. Eastern to noon Eastern. Your Sunday morning kickoff show where we tackle your NFL lines out in the desert, a 61.2% win rate over the last 6 years. Against the spread, over, under, money line, you name it. And we dive into the world of fantasy football year-long and your DFS payouts. The only true Southern football kickoff show that talks the spreads in Vegas, your DFS and fantasy in your year-long quest to win that fantasy football championship. Only on the Armchair Quarterbacks YouTube channel. It's the Handicappers on Armchair Quarterbacks YouTube, 10 a.m. Eastern to noon Eastern. Sundays, all NFL season long.
Tom has been a teacher for over 40 years. One day, I think one of the students had asked the question and he didn't remember the answer. And I also noticed that he was letting his class out earlier than they were supposed to let out. I was really starting to worry.
Levi and I talked about how it would change our lives, but he was there beside me.
When something feels different, it could be Alzheimer's. Now is the time to talk. Visit alz.org/ourstories to learn more. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Let's keep the Dodgers in Brooklyn. A house is not a home without some.
Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game.
We are back here for Braves baseball. It will be Alvarado coming in to face Freddie Freeman in the pitching substitution. And Atlanta leading 5-2, giving up 2 runs in the top of the 7th inning. But that was all. So Atlanta still has a 3-run lead. They're 6 outs away from putting the Phillies away. And here we go. The first pitch to Freddie Freeman. He digs in. And fastball. Oh, it gets Freddie on the elbow. Is he okay? It hits Freddie, and he is wincing in pain. And he looks like he's hurting. And why in the world Freddie Freeman does not wear protective gear, I'll never understand it. Several times he's been hit on that right arm. and he might be injured, folks. This could be devastating news to the Atlanta Braves. Kind of hangs in over the plate. That fastball clipped him on the elbow, hoping it's just a stinger, that he'll be okay. This would be a devastating injury to Atlanta. He's shaking it off. I believe it was the elbow. I'm waiting for the replay. It might have been the wrist. He's shaking his wrist, but I'm thinking that might be the nerves. Let's see here. It is. He swung on inside. Yes, it was the back. It just missed his elbow. It was the top part of the back of his just below the tricep. So luckily, but why in the world the Braves don't talk him into some kind of padding like everyone else on the planet is using nowadays? I'll never understand that. Remember, he had the broken wrist years back, and you would think after this many times he would go up there with like the Acuna Jr. type of armor, but thankfully it looks like he's going to be okay because he stays in the game, and I don't think they would let him stay in the game if he was injured. I think he was just more of a scare. So Ozzie Albies comes up 100 miles an hour, fastball outside the zone. Don't believe Alvarado was doing it intentionally. He looked distraught when Freddie was writhing in pain, looking up. Don't believe Alvarado wanted to do that intentionally. Just think he got away from him. Until the guilt was there. Fastball, 100 miles an hour inside, and Ozzie swings and misses. It's 1-1. You know that had to hurt because it came every bit of in the high 90s on Freddie Freeman. Thankfully, just missed his elbow. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Freddie leads off, looks him back, and fastball up out of the zone. It's 1-2. Hopefully the Braves can hold on here and win tonight. And if they can win tonight, get Freddie some rest, Darno some rest. Obviously, would be able to rest the bullpen. We will continue to do these games until the Braves clinch, and then we will be back for the playoffs. Here comes the 1-2 pitch from Alvarado, hipped up high and in the sky. Segura's underneath it behind first, and that'll be the first out. Big pop fly. Ozzie is out. That'll bring Austin Riley to the plate. Big slugging third baseman. So if I'm voting for the National League MVP, and it keeps being talked about Bryce Harper, I'm sorry, but I'm putting Goldschmidt number one. He's been on fire getting the Cardinals back into the playoffs out of nowhere. Tatis has played out of his mind. It's not his fault that his pitching staff ERA's over 6. Here comes a fastball right down the pipes. Caught on the inside part, and it's 0-1, 101 miles an hour. And then I'm putting Austin Riley in at number 3. It would be Bryce Harper and then Soto behind him, assuming the Braves win the division. Here comes the 0-1 pitch, and way inside 99 miles an hour, gets Riley off the plate, and it's 1-1. Typically, I want my MVP to make the playoffs, but Tatis has had such a good year, I can't fault him for how bad they've been. Much more impressive than what Riley has done. Here comes the 1-1 pitch from Alvarado. He induces a double play. It's going to be hit to the right side of the infield, and they gun down Freddie at second. The relay goes over to first, and they've got Riley by a step. We'll be back in a flash, heading to the top of the 8th. We're 6 outs away. The Atlanta Braves lead it 5-2. Get your Sunday football morning started off right with the Handicappers on Armchair Quarterbacks YouTube, 10 a.m. Eastern to noon Eastern. Your Sunday morning kickoff show where we tackle your NFL lines out in the desert, a 61.2% win rate over the last 6 years. Against the spread, over under, money line, you name it. And we dive into the world of fantasy football year long and your DFS payouts. Your only true Southern football kickoff show that talks the spreads in Vegas, your DFS and fantasy, and your year-long quest to win that fantasy football championship. Only on the Armchair Quarterbacks YouTube channel. It's the Handicappers on Armchair Quarterbacks YouTube, 10 a.m. Eastern to noon Eastern. Sundays, all NFL season long. Saturday mornings, 8:30 Eastern. Dixie Football Nation is back and better than ever. We've got Tony Agolini, Matt Carr, Tones Ariola, Bobby and Angelo, along with Mac McGee this fall. Dixie Football Nation heads to the gridiron, talking ACC, SEC, the Big Ten, and all the big games throughout the college football land. That's Dixie Football Nation, 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central, Saturday mornings on the Armchair Quarterback Show's YouTube channel, going live, or catch the instant replay. Welcome back here to Braves baseball. Atlanta leads at 5-2. We head to the top of the eighth inning, 6 outs away from Atlanta winning the National League East as their magic number is 1. Take a look around at the scoreboards we get set to play in the National League. Mets lead the Marlins 6-3 in the 7th. The Mets head to Atlanta tomorrow night. Houston 3-2 over Tampa in the 8th. The Yankees 5-2 lead over Toronto in the 8th. And here comes the first pitch from Luke Jackson. It's a slider on the outside part of the zone, called for a strike, and it's 0-1. The Dodgers and Giants are just getting underway. Here comes the 0-1 pitch, swung on and missed. Slider outside the zone, and it's 0-2. Giants are at home against Arizona. The Dodgers are at home against San Diego. Here comes the 0-2 pitch, swung on and missed, strike 3, and we're 5 outs away from the East. And that'll bring Bryce Harper to the plate. Nasty slider in the dirt. Luke Jackson hopes to bring Atlanta just a little closer. The Boston Red Sox lose to the Orioles tonight, 6-2, by the way. Nick Pivetta was pounded. And here comes the first pitch to Bryce Harper. And fastball on the outside part of the plate, just missed, and it's 1-0. Cardinals went back to their winning ways after losing last night, ending their 17-game winning streak. 1-0 pitch, outside slider, called for a strike, and it's 1-1. Tomorrow, you got a lot of big series that'll begin. The Mets are hosting the Braves. Hopefully that will be a moot point. 1-1 pitches on the outside slider, and it's 2-1. If the East is still alive, the Phillies are heading to Miami. And the Red Sox are heading to Washington. Here comes the 2-1 pitch, and it is banged into the dirt to the right side of the infield. Ozzy's on top of it. He guns down Harper for the second out of the inning. We're 4 outs away from the National League East Championship. Yankees are at home against the Tampa Bay Rays, who, if they don't win tonight, still need a win to sew up. They're 1 win away from clinching home field advantage in the American League. So they do have something to play for tomorrow night if they don't come back from the deficit in Houston. Here's the first pitch, fastball on the outside part of the plate, swung on and missed, and it's 0-1. Now, as far as the Dodgers and the Giants are at home against San Diego all weekend. Slider outside the zone, it's 1-1. And the Dodgers are at home against Milwaukee. Milwaukee has very little to play for. Corbin Burns will go Saturday night against the Dodgers, but how long they'll let him pitch is a question mark. He should probably be the front runner for the Cy Young. Here's a slider inside. It is hammered high and deep over the left field wall. JT Realmuto hits a solo shot, and it's 5-3, and things have just gotten a little tighter here in Atlanta. JT Realmuto, it's his 17th homer of the year, and the Braves are still 4 outs away, just kind of hung in the zone. And Realmuto did not miss that one bit. That's going to bring Brad Miller to the plate. You can see the Phillies dugout come alive. They realize they're not quite out of it just yet. Here comes first pitch from Luke Jackson. Fastball fired inside. It's shot out to center field, but it looks like it's going to be playable. Duvall's on his horse. Duvall catches it. We head to the bottom of the 8th. We need some insurance runs, boys. The Braves lead at 5-3. You're listening to Braves Baseball. Saturday mornings, 8:30 Eastern. Dixie Football Nation is back and better than ever. We've got Tony Agolini, Matt Carr, Tones Areola, Bobby and Angelo, along with Mac McGee this fall. Dixie Football Nation heads to the gridiron, talking ACC, SEC, the Big Ten, and all the big games throughout the college football land. That's Dixie Football Nation, 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central, Saturday mornings on the Armchair Quarterback Show's YouTube channel, going live, or catch the instant replay. Get your Sunday football morning started off right with the Handicappers on Armchair Quarterbacks YouTube, 10 a.m. Eastern to noon Eastern. Your Sunday morning kickoff show where we tackle your NFL lines out in the desert, a 61.2% win rate over the last 6 years. Against the spread, over, under, money line, you name it. We dive into the world of fantasy football year long and your DFS payouts. The only true Southern football kickoff show that talks the spreads in Vegas, your DFS and fantasy, in your year-long quest to win that fantasy football championship. Only on the Armchair Quarterbacks YouTube channel. It's the Handicappers on Armchair Quarterbacks YouTube, 10 a.m. Eastern to noon Eastern. Sundays, all NFL season long. Welcome back here to Braves baseball. The Atlanta Braves lead Philadelphia 5-3. We head to the bottom of the 8th inning. It's getting nip and tuck here as the Braves are just 3 outs away from winning the East, but they had a 5-0 lead before the 7th. They've given up 3 runs, and Philly is back in this. You got to figure it's going to be Will Smith coming back out there to the mound to try to close out another game. So get your roll aids ready, because it is going to be nip and tuck if Atlanta does not get some kind of a cushion here. They lead 5-3. Sam Coonrod comes in to pitch to Adam Duvall, and the first pitch is on the way, and it's a slider called for a strike. Told you we're going to get you caught up in the Jaguars Bengals. It's 14-0 at the half. If you're a fantasy football player out there, Robinson has 64 yards rushing and a touchdown. Lawrence, 127 yards, but he does have a rushing touchdown. If you got a Bengal, you're in trouble. Here comes a fastball on the inside part of the play. It's 1-1. Burrow just 95 yards passing, no touchdowns, no interceptions. Mixon, 5 carries, 14 yards, and Tyler Boyd has 3 catches and 64 yards. 14-0. You haven't missed a whole heck of a lot. Here comes the 1-1 pitch to Adam Duvall, and he fights it off, and it's going to just roll foul. Luckily, Miller didn't pounce on that. That ball was shot over. It was almost like a cue shot, and it went over to the first base line. Miller let it roll foul, but I think he probably should have grabbed it, scooped it, and stepped on first, because Duvall had a hard time getting out of the box. We'll take it. It's now Duvall's going to step back in at 1-2. Duvall, Rosario, and Darno do up this inning against Coonrod, the hard-throwing righty. Already seen him once in this series. And here comes the 1-2 pitch. It's fouled back 98 miles an hour, and it's 1-2. Atlanta's Truist Park is jam-packed tonight, hoping to see Atlanta clinch the NL East and head to the playoffs. And here comes the 1-2 pitch, and in the dirt, it'll be 2-2. Look like a 98-mile-an-hour, possibly sinker. Didn't quite stay up enough for Duvall to offer at it. Atlanta would love to get one more run here, get a little breathing room. So when you get it to 2 heading the 9th, all you need is a bloop and a blast. Atlanta does not want to drag this out any further. Here comes the 2-2 pitch, swung on and missed, strike 3. And up around the letters, 1 away. That'll bring Rosario to the plate. Hasn't done much of anything in this series. He's 0 for 3 on the night. Just 1 hit in the series. He had the error back in game 1 that almost opened the floodgates. I would suspect he will be back out there for the 9th to play defense. He's had a couple of iffy plays. Here comes the first pitch, swung on and missed. And it's 0-1 right around belt high. Just couldn't catch up to it. 93 miles an hour. Darno stands on deck. And here we go. Fastball hit high and out of play. It's 0-2. Atlanta 5, Philadelphia 3. Bottom of the 8th. Braves just 3 outs away from clinching the East, but Philly showing some fight. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Fastball hit high and down the line, and it's 0-2. Do it again. Rosario would love to change his home run total from 13 to 14 on the year. If you can get that bat head out in front, the speed of Coonrod's pitches will do the the work for you. Here's the 0-2 pitch, fastball way outside the zone, 99 miles an hour, and it's 1-2. Update for you real quick. College football. Virginia leads Miami 25-14 with an extra point pending. And the Jaguars and Bengals are now 14-7. Joe Burrow threw a touchdown pass to the tight end. Here's the 1-2 pitch outside the zone, 97 miles an hour. And it's 2-2. Rosario fighting in here on Sam Coonrod, who 4.10 ERA, but it's got a lot of gas behind that pistol of his. And here's the 2-2 pitch, and it's swung on and fouled. Looked like Rosario might have fouled it off his foot. It's 2-2. Kind of hopping away, but it looks like he's okay. d'Arnaud gives him a pat on the head as he kind of wandered back towards the on-deck circle. And if you're just joining us, Atlanta led this 5-0. But home runs by 2-run shot by McCutcheon and a solo jack by Real Muto has shaved it down to a 5-3 lead. Atlanta trying to add something to this. Bottom of the 8th, 2-2 pitch, slider banged into the dirt, and Segura's got to go quite a way, throw against his body. He guns it over to first and barely gets Rosario. What a play by Segura, as he had to stretch over his body for the ball and then throw against his own momentum and got Rosario about a half step. Looking at the replay, it does look like Miller did hold the bag just barely with his spikes. That'll be second out of the inning, bringing Travis d'Arnaud up to plate, 0 for 2 with the walk and a run scored. And here we go. First pitch, and it is a fastball on the outside part of the plate, called for a strike. It's 0-1. d'Arnaud hasn't had quite the pop that he did in 2020, of course, battling the injury that he did, has yet to really get back in the groove. Here's the 0-1 pitch to d'Arnaud, and it's fouled off 98 miles an hour, and it's 0-2. Love to see d'Arnaud's back get going before Atlanta heads to the postseason. Assuming we get to the postseason, just 3 outs away from accomplishing that once again. Probably the most. Here comes the 0-2 pitch, fouled back, fastball to the screen, stays 0-2. We'll do it again. This is probably the most impressive of all the divisional wins that the Braves have had, if they do hold on, in the last 4 seasons, because of the injuries that Atlanta had to go through. There were quite a few injuries last year as well, but they did have the big bat of Acuna to help them out. Here comes the 0-2 pitch and slider outside the zone. It's 1-2. This year you lose Ozuna to a goofy injury, and then he has the run-in with the law, so he's not coming back this year. Here comes the 1-2 pitch, and it is fouled 95 miles an hour into the dirt and to the third base side. We'll do it again at 1-2. And then, of course, Soroka's comeback that never happened because his surgery was a bust and they had to do it again. So he never pitched this year. And then to top it all off, Acuna Jr. tears his ACL. Here's 1-2 pitch, fouled back out of play, 96 miles an hour. Just outside the zone, but too close to take, and it's 1-2. And that's just the major things that have happened to this team this year. And somehow through all of it, they have found a way to climb back up into the NL East lead and do the unthinkable and win this thing when they looked like they were just they could not get a winning streak going. just kind of mulling around, but they never lost a ton in a row. And I think that was the key. Here comes the 1-2 pitch to d'Arnaud. It's low and away, and it's ball 2, slider in the dirt, 2-2. Had Atlanta gone on a long losing streak and just fallen out of it, I don't think Anthopoulos ever would have made the move. First of all, Jock Peterson, right after the Acuna injury, if you remember, he did that coming off the All-Star break to give them a shot in the arm. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. It is inside. They're going to say d'Arnaud went around. Kind of questionable, but he's not going to argue with it. And we'll head to the top of the 9th inning. The Braves are 3 outs away. They've got champagne on ice. Will this be the night? The Braves lead 5-3.
I might audible. If I audible, I'll use
Omaha! Red Polly! Blue poncho! Dilly! Rambo! Give me Kershaw here, Kershaw!
You're listening to the Armchair Quarterbacks on CBS Sports Radio.
Chop, Japan! Richmond, New York! Richmond, Florida! Cali, Buffalo! Check! Hey, Short Ox! Luda Raiders! Omaha!
Oh, wow. I'm pretty sure that's going to be there it is. Another flag on the play.
Multiple flags on the play. Holding. Offense number 97. That penalty was declined. Touchdown. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct. Offense number 22. Penalty will be applied to the kickoff.
This is going to be one of the strangest calls.
That son of a... You playing against Dick this week? Yeah. Could be worse, man. When I played against him, he ejected all my players.
Armchair.
Saturday mornings, 8:30 Eastern. Dixie Football Nation is back and better than ever. We've got Tony Agolini, Matt Carr, Tones Areola, Bobby and Angelo, along with Mac McGee this fall. Dixie Football Nation heads to the gridiron, talking ACC, SEC, the Big Ten, and all the big games throughout the college football land. That's Dixie Football Nation, 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central, Saturday mornings on the Armchair Quarterback Show's YouTube channel, going live. Or catch the instant replay. Welcome back here to Braves baseball, and we are 3 outs away with a 2-run lead. Andrew McCutchen coming to the plate, and here comes Will Smith as the doors swing open out of the bullpen. So hold on tight. Adam Duvall is going to go over to right field. Heredia will come into play center, taking Soler out of the game. And oh, here we go. Pop whatever antacid you've got. Take a shot of whatever you need. Drink whatever you need. Whatever your poison is, you're going to need it here as we head to the top of the 9th inning. Fans are on their feet, and why not? 3 outs away from doing what most people thought was impossible. Atlanta leads 5-3. Here's the first pitch, and it is a slider, banged foul, and it's 0-1. Love to see a clean inning here from Will Smith. Don't need any drama as we are. Everyone's on their feet. Even the Phillies dugout, they're hanging over the edge. Will Smith gets the signal from d'Arnaud. Here's the 0-1 pitch. And called strike at the knees inside, and it's 0-2. After McCutchen, you'll get Gregorius and Torreyes if they don't go to the bench. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Smith fires, swung on, strike number 3 at the letters, and there's one away We're 2 outs away, Braves country, from winning the East in 2021. Appreciate you tuning in and watching this along, listening along with us here. We will be back for the playoffs. Here comes the Gregorius will step into the box. By the way, they do not pull a pinch hitter, and Gregorius steps out. Blue calls time. So we'll reset here. Here's the first pitch to Gregorius as the chop is going loud in Atlanta, and it's a called slider strike on the outside part of the plate. It's 0-1. That's one of those pitches that if Smith is hitting that pitch and Blue is giving him that call, that's the kind of thing he needs to be successful. Here comes the 0-1 pitch, and fastball swung up, popped up high. It's a can of corn to Dansby Swanson, and he's underneath it. It's 2 away. The Atlanta Braves are 1 out away from winning the National League East for the 4th time. Stand up, Braves country. That's going to bring Ronald Torreyes to the plate. He does have 7 home runs on the year, 245, righty versus lefty. And here comes the first pitch, and curveball out of the kitchen sink, and it is a called first strike. 0-1 is the count. We will be back here for the Braves playoff games. Here comes the 0-1 pitch, and it is a slider banged foul. It's 0-2. Please like and subscribe so you know when we're going live. We do have other content on the weekends, but when the Braves are playing, they will take precedent. So here comes the 0-2 pitch. And sets up. It's swung on and missed. Strike 3. And that's it, y'all. Swing and a miss on a strike, and your Atlanta Braves are the 2021 National League East champions. The players rush onto the field. Everyone's giving hugs. It's not quite the dog pile you expect, but I guess with this being old hat, they're hoping for a little more, but there's definitely celebration. Jumping around. Will Smith, how about that? A clean inning, a 1-2-3 inning. The Atlanta Braves beat the Philadelphia Phillies 5-3. 5 runs, 6 hits for the Atlanta Braves. 3 runs, 5 hits for the Phillies. Atlanta got a huge outing by Ian Anderson when they needed it most. 6 innings, 2 earned runs. Minter came in and he had a great inning himself. Luke Jackson did give up the 1 run in the solo blast, but all in all, a good job by the Braves bullpen, a great job by Will Smith. Could he be turning the corner? Your Atlanta Braves win the NL East. Unthinkable just a few months ago, as we will head to October to face the Milwaukee Brewers, most likely Friday afternoon. We plan on having the action here. And what a great game. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Mac McGee. We will bid you adieu as Atlanta wins the National League East. They beat Philadelphia 5-3 in dramatic fashion. And your Braves are division champions once again. Thanks for listening to Braves Baseball. We'll be back in Choptober. Get your Sunday football morning started off right with the Handicappers on Armchair Quarterbacks YouTube, 10 a.m. Eastern to noon Eastern. Your Sunday morning kickoff show where we tackle your NFL lines out in the desert, a 61.2% win rate over the last 6 years. Against the spread, over, under, money line, you name it. And we dive into the world of fantasy football year long and your DFS payouts. Your only true Southern football kickoff show that talks the spreads in Vegas, your DFS and fantasy, and your year-long quest to win that fantasy football championship. Only on the Armchair Quarterbacks YouTube channel. It's the Handicappers on Armchair Quarterbacks YouTube, 10 a.m. Eastern to noon Eastern. Sundays, all NFL season long.
Tom has been a teacher for over 40 years. One day, I think one of the students had asked the question and he didn't remember the answer. And I also noticed that he was letting his class out earlier than they were supposed to let out. I was really starting to worry.
Levi and I talked about how it would change our lives, but he was there beside me.
When something feels different, it could be Alzheimer's. Now is the time to talk. Visit alz.org/ourstories to learn more. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Get your Sunday football morning started off right with the Handicappers on Armchair Quarterbacks YouTube, 10 a.m. Eastern to noon Eastern. Your Sunday morning kickoff show where we tackle your NFL lines out in the desert, a 61.2% win rate over the last 6 years. Against the spread, over, under, money line, you name it. And we dive into the world of fantasy football year long and your DFS payouts. Your only true Southern football kickoff show that talks the spreads in Vegas, your DFS and fantasy, in your year-long quest to win that fantasy football championship. Only on the Armchair Quarterbacks YouTube channel. It's the Handicappers on Armchair Quarterbacks YouTube, 10 a.m. Eastern to noon Eastern. Sundays, all NFL season long. Saturday mornings, 8:30 Eastern. Dixie Football Nation is back and better than ever. We got Tony Agolini, Matt Carr, Tones Ariola, Bobby and Angelo, along with Mac McGee this fall. Dixie Football Nation heads to the gridiron, talking ACC, SEC, the Big Ten, and all the big games throughout the college football land. That's Dixie Football Nation, 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central, Saturday mornings on the Armchair Quarterback Show's YouTube channel, going live, or catch the instant replay.
I'm Amy Lawrence, and I'm up late, always, after hours, hanging out with you on CBS Sports Radio. Check it out, 2 a.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. Pacific.
Enjoy sun-drenched days, epic stays, and plenty of room to roam in Greater Fort Lauderdale. Our hotels, attractions, and restaurants have taken the Visit Lauderdale Safe and Clean pledge so you can relax and explore with confidence. When you are ready for that well-deserved staycation, our 23 miles of golden beaches await. Find wide-open spaces to hike, bike, kayak, and paddleboard. Visit your favorite attractions, then dine out in style in socially distanced dining rooms or al fresco on waterfront patios. Learn more at sunny.org.
To protect his family from disaster, Steve used his camera phone.
Done.
By taking pictures of his important documents, Steve can always have them stored online. Learn more simple disaster prep tips at ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council.
You're talking about a bunch of unproven kids who were in the prom. You know, literally, they were in the prom like 6 months ago at their high school.
No, they weren't because they were
locked down.
Exactly.
Okay, they were at a
These are
prom-less teenagers.
If he's from a Big Ten state,
they were at
if he's from a Big Ten state, he didn't have prom. I can guarantee you that.
They were at a virtual prom. Anyway, so yeah, it's tough for Wisconsin.
That's called porn. That's called porn.
Stop it. They get a break this week because I got a mess to clean up, guys. Yeah.
Virtual.
There's my walk off for the day. Thanks, Mac. I gotta dry my keyboard out now.
Armchair.
Remember, if for any reason you must leave your radio, please have the man at the door stamp your ear so you can listen again later.
Saturday mornings, 8:30 Eastern. Dixie Football Nation is back and better than ever. We got Tony Agolini, Matt Carr, Tones Ariola, Bobby and Angelo, along with Mac McGee this fall. Dixie Football Nation heads to the gridiron, talking ACC, SEC, the Big Ten, and all the big games throughout the college football land. That's Dixie Football Nation, 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central, Saturday mornings on the Armchair Quarterback Show's YouTube channel, going live, or catch the instant replay.
Screen pass to Trayshawn DeAndre on the right side. He dodges Crushman, makes his way to the end zone. Touchdown! But wait a second. I think there's a flag on the play.
All right, you guys got holding on number 97, right?
Yeah, definitely holding. No touchdown.
All right, make the call.
Yeah, I mean, it was holding.
So make the call.
Or, we say the flag was for an excessive celebration so they can keep the touchdown and apply the penalty to the kickoff, huh? What do you say?
What are you talking about? I didn't see excessive celebration.
You sure? I could have sworn I saw a little nay-nay going on.
What's going on with you, man?
All right, look, guys, I got to be real with you. Trayshawn DeAndre just scored that touchdown. Okay, I have him on my fantasy team this week. I need these points.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not kidding you, Bill. I'm playing against my father-in-law this week, and if he doesn't score this touchdown, I lose.
Well, I'm not going to let you make a bad call because you're in some fantasy football league.
Make the call.
Craig, no. If you make one bad call.
This works out perfectly, Bill. I started the quarterback who threw the touchdown pass. We're going to have to ignore the holding call.
I have the kicker, and I was kind of hoping that he wouldn't convert on third down, so he'd have to kick the field goal.
Armchair.
Get your Sunday football morning started off right with the Handicappers on Armchair Quarterbacks YouTube, 10 a.m. Eastern to noon Eastern. Your Sunday morning kickoff show where we tackle your NFL lines out in the desert, a 61.2% win rate over the last 6 years. Against the spread, over, under, money line, you name it. And we dive into the world of fantasy football year-long in your DFS payouts. The only true Southern football kickoff show that talks the spreads in Vegas, your DFS and fantasy in your year-long quest to win that fantasy football championship. Only on the Armchair Quarterbacks YouTube channel. It's the Handicappers on Armchair Quarterbacks YouTube, 10 a.m. Eastern to noon Eastern. Sundays, all NFL season long. The Armchair Quarterbacks on YouTube Live, covering the AFC South and NFC South along with the rest of the NFL. Subscribe and like us today. Your first choice for sports talk live from the First Coast.
Tom has been a teacher for over 40 years. One day, I think one of the students had asked the question and he didn't remember the answer. And I also noticed that he was letting his class out earlier than they were supposed to let out. I was really starting to worry.
Levi and I talked about how it would change our lives, but he was there beside me.
When something feels different, it could be Alzheimer's. Now is the time to talk. Visit alz.org/ourstories to learn more. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
You come at the king, you best not miss.
I might audible. If I audible, I'll use Omaha! Red Polly! Red Polly! Blue Poncho! Blue Poncho! Dilly! Rambo! Rambo! Give me Kershaw here, Kershaw!
You're listening to the Armchair Quarterbacks.
Stop, Japan! Richmond, New York! Richmond, Florida! Cali, Buffalo! Check! Hey, Short Ox! Luda Raiders! Omaha! Come out!
And then a lot of states ended up having gay marriage and common law marriage, which I think is very confusing because what happens if you just end up with like two loser dudes sharing the same crappy apartment for a couple years? It's been known to happen. Both working part-time at the pizza place, hanging out every weekend. A few years goes by, boom, they're married. See them at a party, they're newlyweds. I didn't know Tony and Jim were gay. They're married now? When did they fall in love? They didn't. They just never got full-time jobs.
Take me out to the ball game. Get caught up with the big stories from around the world in sports in just a few minutes. It's Take Me Out to the Ball Game today, weekdays. Armchair Quarterbacks on YouTube. Baseball, football, basketball, whatever's trending in the world of sports, it's on Take Me Out to the Ball Game today in just a few minutes. It drops weekdays. Take Me Out to the Ball Game today on the Armchair Quarterbacks YouTube channel. Take me out to the ball game.
This portion of the show is being brought to you by The Best Things in Life, which are still free with minimum purchase at participating dealers.
Saturday mornings, 8:30 Eastern. Dixie Football Nation is back and better than ever. We've got Tony Agolini, Matt Carr, Tones Ariola, Bobby and Angelo, along with Mac McGee this fall. Dixie Football Nation heads to the gridiron, talking ACC, SEC, the Big Ten, and all the big games throughout the college football land. That's Dixie Football Nation, 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central, Saturday mornings on the Armchair Quarterback Show's YouTube channel, going live. Or catch the instant replay. Get your Sunday football morning started off right with the Handicappers on Armchair Quarterbacks YouTube, 10 a.m. Eastern to noon Eastern. Your Sunday morning kickoff show where we tackle your NFL lines out in the desert, a 61.2% win rate over the last 6 years. Against the spread, over, under, money line, you name it. And we dive into the world of fantasy football year-long in your DFS payouts. Your only true Southern football kickoff show that talks the spreads in Vegas, your DFS and fantasy in your year-long quest to win that fantasy football championship. Only on the Armchair Quarterbacks YouTube channel. It's the Handicappers on Armchair Quarterbacks YouTube, 10 a.m. Eastern to noon Eastern. Sundays, all NFL season long.
Enjoy sun-drenched days, epic stays, and plenty of room to roam in Greater Fort Lauderdale. Our hotels, attractions, and restaurants have taken the Visit Lauderdale's Safe and Clean pledge so you can relax and explore with confidence. When you're ready for that well-deserved staycation, our 23 miles of golden beaches await. Find wide-open spaces to hike, bike, kayak, and paddleboard. Visit your favorite attractions, then dine out in style in socially distanced dining rooms or al fresco on waterfront patios. Learn more at sunny.org.
Saturday mornings, 8:30 Eastern. Dixie Football Nation is back and better than ever. We've got Tony Agolini, Matt Carr, Tones Ariola, Bobby and Angelo, along with Mac McGee this fall. Dixie Football Nation heads to the gridiron, talking ACC, SEC, the Big Ten, and all the big games throughout the college football land. That's Dixie Football Nation, 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central, Saturday mornings on the Armchair Quarterback Show's YouTube channel, going live. Or catch the instant replay.
Dread running to the post office? Stamps.com brings post office and UPS services right to your computer. Send letters, ship packages, and get up to 40% off USPS and up to 62% off UPS rates. Nearly 1 million small businesses use Stamps.com to save time and money. It's a no-brainer. So skip the post office and visit Stamps.com. Use promo code LISTEN for a 4-week trial plus free postage and a digital scale. That's Stamps.com, promo code LISTEN.
The snapper is Robert Shiver, a sophomore out of Thomasville, Georgia. The holder is Matthew Motley, a senior from Opelika, and Wes Byram, a freshman out of Fort Lauderdale, trying to put it through to give Auburn the win. Here's the snap, the place, the kick is up, the kick is long enough, the kick is good! Good! See you later, alligator! Tigers win, 20-17! I hope Lee Corso and Kirk Street never pick Auburn to have a chance again. The Tigers have come to the swamp, drained it, and made it their own. 20-17, Auburn a winner tonight over the third-ranked Florida Gators. Can you believe it?
Hi, this is Britney Spears.
What up, this Jay-Z.
This is Jennifer Lopez. Armchair.
Get your Sunday football morning started off right with the Handicappers on Armchair Quarterbacks YouTube, 10 a.m. Eastern to noon Eastern. Your Sunday morning kickoff show where we tackle your NFL lines out in the desert, a 61.2% win rate over the last 6 years. Against the spread, over, under, money line, you name it. And we dive into the world of fantasy football year long and your DFS payouts. Your only true Southern football kickoff show that talks the spreads in Vegas, your DFS and fantasy, in your year-long quest to win that fantasy football championship. Only on the Armchair Quarterbacks YouTube channel. It's the Handicappers on Armchair Quarterbacks YouTube, 10 a.m. Eastern to noon Eastern. Sundays, all NFL season long. Armchair Quarterback Radio, the gunslingers of sports talk.
Here's second-year quarterback Brett Favre out of Southern Mississippi by way of the Atlanta Falcons. They are hopeful he can succeed in the NFL. Here, Brett Favre, doing the challenge. Try this one. So with their best receiver out of the game from the 35, 19 seconds left. Touchdown! Is there a spark of life in Green Bay? Touchdown! Yes! Danny Marino!
Here's Marino, wide open field, throws for a touchdown. It is number 37 on the season, breaks the all-time NFL record. Going deep and open. Touchdown, Mark Duper. Duper has returned, and he is super.
They are going to bring pressure again. Rodgers is going to roll away, throws it up in the air, says a prayer. Next doesn't even stop it. Oh, please.
There's something, I'll say there's something kind of about it.